What up? What up, boys? Start off in a small group. People will mosey their way in and they'll just be behind because that's the way it works. So what we're looking at here, I'll kind of show you guys the parameters that we're looking at. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not even showing my screen. There we go. We see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, just need a little confirmation. Cool. 40 big blinds under the gun +1 versus button. Kind of a standard spot, you know, generally in some of the smaller mid stakes, you're probably going to be in this spot of more multi-way as much as you are heads up, because people love the flat. The big blind probably doesn't fold as much. But when we are in this situation, heads up, kind of looking at some of the frequencies, this chart down here, if you are not familiar with GTO Wizard, I think everybody in here is a master, kind of showing our strategy and bet sizings, starting with ace high right to low cards left. And right away, it gives us, I mean, I'm not a big fan of having this many sizes. If you maybe simplified this and say, okay, I'm just going to use 33%, and then, well, my big sizing will be 60%, 65, 66% or something like that. And I think your EV would be pretty comparable, in my opinion. It'd be fair. It'd be just enough in the region that you're not losing too much EV. But at the same time, you can see here, we're betting like 50% of the time. Myself, I think I'm checking here a little bit too much. I'm probably like checking 60, 70% of the time. Knowing that we can overcheck. But there are some regions that we need to find, just be betting a ton. Yeah, I mean, we're just using a ton of small bets, paired boards and whatnot. I'm not gonna like simplify since easily because we can just do it like this, right? You can see the boards, the region where we're checking a lot. A lot of monotone boards are going to be checked here. I think I see a ton of monotone boards, 3 low cards. Where boards are we never checking? You see a lot of paired boards here. Really carrying king, queen, king, 10, queen.
Be looking at a spot like this earlier with Team Toe.
Yep.
And Joel gave me a great little trick of when to see bet on a position like this and when not to. And so you notice like the king 10-5 board, the king queen 6 board. You see that?
Right here.
So basically the idea is because we opened and they flatted, if we still have 2 sets in our range and they don't, like king queen, they don't have kings and all queens, and we still have kings and we still have queens, then it's option a c bet out of position. And that was a cool little trick that showed up a lot in the training.
Yeah,
so
like
king 10-4. We have all the 10s, we have all the kings, they would 3-bet those 3.
king 10-5.
King 10-5. So that's why that c bet in there so much.
Let's see, you can see that probably with king jack X.
Yeah, or like queen jack
Going the
4.
wrong way.
Same type of thing.
And on some of those, we have huge bets too.
Yeah, sometimes you size up when there's.
Yeah, there's 55% in there, 17%.
I thought that was a cool little trick. Cool little trick to.
And I think that's where you see these spikes here in the ace high boards when we are betting. Ace, like ace king, you know, ace king 8, ace king 7, ace queen X, right? So yeah, ace queen jack, like these are boards like I kind of find myself probably checking way too much.
Me too.
And kind of learning that we need to still be betting here. Our range can support a bet. We can get value. We can clean up some equity. We have opportunities to double barrel a lot. So kind of doing some work on these type of boards can be kind of worthwhile. And it's pretty consistent here. These are fucking like 60% plus boards, every single one of them, right? We go down to ace 10. Well, ace 10-10, the paired boards still betting a lot, ace 10-5, you know?
Look at like queen jack 4, jack 10-4.
From my limited knowledge of these spots, like there are also probably like pretty extreme defending frequencies for the button that are like probably still not being found in game.
Yeah, people are gonna
this is probably still overloaded too.
Yep. And when we get into these spots, like if we just go to strategically here, king 10-7, right? We use this size in game, and then we look at villain's defending range and see if they're gonna meet MDF. I would imagine people with 8-6 might find some folds. Is anyone ever, these are never getting called in game.
Agreed.
So this
Yeah,
whole
no,
region
they're
is
very-
not meeting MDF, not even close. The rest of this looks pretty fair. I think you might find people that will fold 8s. Absolutely, in some of these games, just feeling like they can't do much. I 100% think somebody's folding 8s, and then it's really hard to say anybody's
And it's
folding
tough.
much.
Yeah,
How often
that's
are you
sliver of
floating 8s and 9s
queen
on this
eight.
board? That's kind of tough because
Yeah.
you just feel like you're always dead on the turn. GG's.
Also,
There
like-
goes those chips.
They're not finding these raises either. I think it's probably the bigger thing on this texture.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
mean,
Yeah,
well, the
nobody's
raises are
raising
pretty
position.
nutted.
Yeah.
Like this partial frequency is just not going to happen at the mid and low stakes unless guy's just naturally spazzy as hell and then he accidentally finds it. Yeah, so yeah, I think you do find some overfolds from this region. Maybe some of the ace highs, ace 8. Probably
I'd be curious. What's the 20?
the
like-
20 MDF. If we go 20, they're MDF.
Yeah, you fold 11% of the time.
So I mean,
Yeah.
maybe 20 is just going to be more efficient for what we're trying to
Yeah.
accomplish, right? Because we still get to keep the initiative with our value range, and then the range that we're just trying to realize equity going to the turn and keep initiative with our range when it wants us to bet.
I think
So what
maybe
are those
just
small bets
like
now?
as a whole, people undervalue position when defending post flop. So like
Yeah.
they don't realize how why they have to defend when they have position. Like
Yep.
the queen 8 just doesn't get called versus fifth pot.
No, and none of the under pairs. I think I personally
Yeah,
think
the
these
under
get
pairs.
fold. I really think people would just fold this.
That's crazy to me, but yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it.
I mean, I imagine guys that call this shit just some of the nits out
Yeah.
there, like half
Yeah,
the
yeah.
nits
There's got to
just
be some portion of
kind of
population.
throw them
who
in. They don't have to tell anybody. They just think they're dead to a bet. Like
I study with people that will fold 8s.
I
and
coach guys that are. I know they're folding this with. I know it. I coach.
And I was
students.
saying, like, it's tough with 8s and 9s to float. I mean, you're floating.
They
your
just feel
planes
like
and
they're
check,
gonna
right?
just.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be another bad card. They could already have me beat. I don't
You
have.
never-
I'm only drawing the
It's tough.
2 outs.
You never know if
these
they're gonna
level
check.
1.
They could always check the turn. And
Yeah,
you're looking
exactly. I
good.
mean, yeah, you could just have the best hand. You're beating like a lot of the ace highs that got shots right now. You're in position, but I do imagine people are finding folds here. So, and then like this whole, if you're folding out this whole region and some other stuff, it makes sense, right? But
Like
going
on
back
this-
to the report. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
on this board, me and Louis did a no luck for a spot like this. On this particular board where we're betting a lot, I don't know if it'll work, but it was on a board where we check about half of the time. And then in spots where we check half of the time and then the button is are supposed to bet about half the time. We raised their C bets up to 75, or they're betting up to 75% instead of 50%. And PO was checking more and check raising a lot more.
Makes sense. Just kind of quickly looking at some of the paired boards. As you can see, paired boards, we're betting by a little bit more, close to 60%, 57%. Now we're betting more than half the time. You probably just clump in a lot of small bets when you are betting large. This 10x paired, Jack X paired region seems to go pretty hard at some frequency. It's using kind of a lot of bets, and then it's even betting small at a very high frequency. On these boards, they should be 3-betting. I guess we look at the range. Sorry, kind of jumping around. I could have just did ranges. Go back here. I'm sorry. So yeah, so they should be using some at some frequency, some of these suited 10s. Go here. Okay. There we go, back here. So here's a paired board. Let's look at the filter for when it's not paired and see the big difference there. Is he gonna checking a bit more, of course, but that heuristic when we have the sets in our range, kind of like Toe pointed out, which was great. These boards are still big spikes. Still getting to see a bit more than half the time. How about with a flush draw? We'll just do this quickly and then I'll start drilling you guys, checking a bit more with the flush draw and more small betting, I would say. Quickly go to, whoops, not paired, rainbow. Rainbow boards betting more. And we have much more big betting on rainbow boards as well. And we're betting more overall. Golly, there's some big ass betting down here. Low pair boards. Jack pair, 10 pair always standing out. Look at these 10 high pair. Look at these 10 pair boards. I mean, definitely not consciously finding this in game enough. What were you saying, Joey?
This just seems a little counterintuitive to bet higher on a rainbow board. Because basically we're taught the more dynamic, the higher you bet.
I think when it's more dynamic in a Jack 10X aspect, where like I think they're just going to be able to meet MDF and you're just going to have a harder time on turns when equities shift.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. Like a lot of their defending range is going to be suited hands and kind of strong combos. So we're putting in a lot of money out of position when they're just going to have the more flush draws and stronger hands and to meet MDF and stuff. We're not necessarily going to be denying equity or having them not meet MDF in that spot. Is the way I kind of.
Which also explains why the betting frequency is just lower overall.
Yeah, because they're just going to be able to meet MDF. They're going to have a stronger range. You're going to have more suited hands on. They're going to have more flush draws, right? So I don't know if we want to be piling in a lot of money out of position, more so on those type of board textures. Whereas on the rainbow boards, we can really push equity, and now we can start using combos with 2-overs and a backdoor flush draw that kind of match when we would bet bigger with our overpair as bluffs that kind of match our value range.
Thinking about hands that you can target on flush draw boards, it just is going to feel like a losing battle to pick a big size. You're much better off maybe just picking a smaller size and being like, well, if you like really target the hands that have low equity and make those hands indifferent, rather than like trying to bet big. And now it's like, well, what hand are you trying to make different? Like second pair of flush draws, back to flush draws. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Then we just meet it, we clear it out. Yeah, very good point, Andrew. Good shit. Cool. I think that's, oh yeah, you can see here we quickly just glance at the monotone boards and it's straight up hell on earth. Like it's pretty rough. You're not going to be betting big ever. Your only bet size is tiny and you're checking a shitload. You can probably almost check range a lot of these spots. I'm sure we are going to want to have some bets here, but I don't know how much value it is going to be to go really thorough into our betting strategy on monotone boards at this moment, where the majority of the paired boards, the monotone, the other boards where we can just get better there. But let's just go ahead and play a few hands and then kind of see what we can do here. Practice, trainer, and get in here, Andrew. Let's do it. You gonna play this hand? You can give your thoughts. Yeah, for sure.
I'm probably going 33 here. Having some pair blockers like probably aren't great. Like I could see like even if we were to have some bigger bets with our range on this board, like top tier is usually going to go into like the smaller region if there's any sort of like range splitting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably just go 33.
Go 33 here. Or you think it's the solver's going to use it as a full frequency? And also, what are you doing with like your king queens, your ace king, king queen, king? Just give me your thoughts on what you
I
do with
think
your top
King
pair.
10-7 is going to be pretty high frequency c-bet with range. Like global, like it could be like 60, 70.
Okay.
I'm super unfamiliar with out of position c-betting. It's just like such an
Yeah.
easy thing to be lazy about in cash games because it's just,
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, I do think this is going to be pretty high frequency in theory. Our hand's probably going to be betting above global, so maybe 80-85%. I think mostly for a small size, sometimes big size, but mostly small size. In game, I would probably just bet small every time.
Nice, nice. Joey,
Like king
you have a
queen,
thought? Okay.
maybe that's going into a bigger size sometimes. Maybe that can go more into our 2/3 size. And then a little bit more checking with a hand like that, just because it's not going to get 3 streets. We're not looking really to stack off with that hand. So sometimes we can just play it as a check call. It's maybe a check
Okay.
raise sometimes.
I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Joey.
can't
I'm sorry.
argue with what he said. I mean, I'm on
It-
board with almost everything he said.
Yeah, this is a good spot. I mean, I might mix check in a little bit too much with some of my king queens,
Yeah.
king jacks, which I don't really like.
This may also
But at
have
the same
some
time, I
more.
think we do go 33.
My only thinking is this might have some checking too to protect range too.
Yeah, this board, versus button here, I do think it's going to be like c betting more overall, but I imagine we are going to be mixing check, and checking is going to be reasonable with some portion of our range, some of our top pairs included. But let's see, go 33 here, checking very infrequently, and it is mixing in all the sizes. I don't like having this many bet size options. So if you go 33, it's good. And if you're in the 50-60 range, it's good as well.
If you want, go over to the left and make it grouped.
There is an option to do that.
Yeah. I know, I mean, yeah, that's good. So we're betting small. Let's try this. I'm gonna try looking at this for a while. Bet small. Yep.
And boys.
Let's see what the overall 70%. Oh, we did
Yeah.
just kind of see. We had it on this initially when I was fucking around. 70%, 10%, 20%. Yeah, I'm checking this a little bit too much.
Yeah, actually, most of the checks are coming from the lower fives,
The what?
lower aces. Ace
Oh,
five,
these
ace
ace
four,
size,
ace three.
yeah.
Yeah, it is
When we
funny.
have
Like
these
when we
danglers,
check, it's really just like pretty much a white flag.
Yeah, these, I mean, we're unblocking
Not
all
really
this
about this
portion
stuff.
of his flatting range. We're trying to fold out when we at some frequency when we are bluffing. Some of these under pairs have them not meet. It's just too likely. We don't have enough real equity. It's just pretty sad. We have the rest
I'm
of this
curious.
stuff.
Could you go into the check node?
Yep.
And then whatever the most common size is for imposition.
Yeah, it's gonna be mixing for 55, but I want to group this as well. Let me see. I'm trying to think.
I think the bottom 9
Right
panel.
here.
Yeah,
There it
3x3.
There we go.
Just
medium
show.
bet
I guess just show bet small.
Yeah.
I just want to see
Especially
like what
versus population, it
we're-
would even be better in my opinion. Like they check this bets.
yeah. What's the B33? I just want to see like how often we just check fold. Because our checking range looks pretty weak, but maybe it's just like,
White flag hands done.
yeah, what that's 51 or
This is button 33.
you know what's the full frequency? Oh, I
Oh,
can
I'm
just
sorry,
do-
foot
oh,
here.
31.
31.
Yeah.
Yep, meeting MDF. All right, let's go ahead and get back to
It
getting
looks
our ass kicked.
visually very weak, but I guess like there's just such a large amount like small checking frequencies that it's fine.
Small, medium, or large. Over bet. God damn it.
Probably just large. Hmm.
There's your size options as well.
Sick. Is this
Yeah.
low RNG or high RNG?
I cannot
Or
remember.
not on.
Beep beep. What side you going, my man? Uh-oh.
On this roll, I would probably like check, but I think in general, we probably just want to continue large. I think it would be split between large and check. Just like such a dry turn that misses both ranges, but does bring in some draws. I think it's going to be a lot of just like large kind of geometric, get it in size.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well.
Yeah.
Bet medium doesn't. I'm like, I'm stuck
It does
between
feel
large and
gross
medium.
just to like put
yeah.
in a large bet with this hand, though. It's just like, well, what are we going to call by?
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
not-
why I think there's probably a decent amount of checking. But
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
between these two, between large and medium, but I'm just thinking geometric. He's still gonna have enough
Yeah.
king X that does just have a,
Yeah.
like a call in his range. He's still gonna need to meet MDF with some of his draws and shit. I mean, he does have some 8-9, but it's whatever at that point, right?
Yeah, to me, bet large was the only option because you want to set up stacks.
Yeah, that's it. It was the only thing that was gonna set up an
even having like
MDF,
the 10 of spades would make me like in game, like probably check this more. You guys like you just block 10x of spades. It's just like one less thing you get called by.
Yep, and the bet large option is 80%.
Yeah.
Oh, just fold out queens there. Wonder if queens meets MDF for 55. If we use bet small.
Hmm.
Need to know. I don't think so. I think it's just that.
It's like can't be a great hand to call with.
I mean, you obviously need like
All the
a
guys
fucking spade, and then the EV is just 0, and then again, yeah, it's just sad. Yeah, you want to not have a spade, so they have more backdoor spade double barrel bluffs.
Yeah.
You're unblocking their backdoor spade draw bluffs. Fuck that. Yeah, whatever. Cool. Give me like 4 hands. So give me a few more hands. We'll try to get through these. I think it's good to kind of look. We see another king high board. Let me make sure I don't have something set up for okay, cool. Sorry.
So
No, you get another one because I
Oh.
griefed you.
nice.
Yep.
That king 7 board was not looking fun. So this is pretty similar to the other board, although it's a little bit drier. A little bit better for us. I would see maybe some more bigger bets coming through here. But definitely another high frequency bet board. I could just see either 1/3 or 2/3 being finer. I'd probably just be lazy about 1/3.
Yep, same here. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to think if we maybe I like 1/3 better. It might be a little bit more efficient because it's like, what are we really targeting with a big bet? Like, do we really like try to just straight away make a jack indifferent? Probably not.
No.
I think 1/3 is probably a little bit more efficient.
Yep, I think I would, yeah, just going very high frequency 1/3 here. We have a nice little gut shot. We are gonna, especially in game, I think the people that just always call here with like deuces through 9s and shit like that, people just are going to overfold like 7s and shit like that. 8s probably overfolds. Maybe 9s and 10s are definitely probably gonna peel. We block 10s. They don't really call enough with queens. Queens are pretty much 3-bet. So I think we just start cleaning up versus the under pairs, making them meet MDF. We have a lot of equity to improve versus that range. So I would always just go 1/3 here. I don't really like checking too much. So, oh yeah, your initial thoughts were good here too. On using a bigger size. The EV is the same.
Yeah, I think in game,
some 6s.
in game 1/3 probably.
Yeah, it feels like this is just
Yeah,
like it just feels more efficient, and you're gonna accomplish all the same things. We probably do just instantly fold out all the underpair with this. We just clean up probably with that.
Yeah, I almost wonder if like a very weak jack, just like a jack 9 suited would just like, yeah, you got me.
Ah, man, that'd be tight as hell. Maybe in live poker where they don't have to actually just act like they missed the
Yeah.
world and they just throw it away because they're scared of
Yeah,
future streets.
maybe if you bet 83, like they're really big here.
Yeah, just big one and done, and then you still have a emergency gut shot in and over. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, but we do use small and just clean up. Like that's that portion of the range, all the under pairs, backdoors and shit like that. It's still folded out. I really like that bet. It's really efficient. I mean, this. Oh, wait a minute. We go here. Is it another? Whew. Yeah, this is good. This is great to see. We need to be betting a lot more on these 2 high carb paint boards heads up.
Yeah,
A ton. I'm glad Toe said
this
that.
is an interesting practice. Like whenever I do look at these spots, because I think there's a good carryover to live cash where it's just like people are playing way too many hands. And it's just like, well, like obviously the reason this gets you bet like not really in cash is like the bottom flatting ranges are just so tight in cash, but it's like, well,
Yeah, I would love for you to come to
you know,
the
in reality, it's not like really happening. So I feel like this is something like I can always take to my games too, just like 5-10, just be like, well, you're playing way too many hands. So I'm just gonna like remember to bet these, or it's a lot more than
yeah, because they're just gonna have like
would.
10-8, you know, 10-8
Yeah, exactly.
suited, like
Exactly,
5-6 and shit like that, and they can't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, you got to come to the cash game study group, man. I think it'd be good to have. We have a couple other guys that play a lot of live 2-5 and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's a good group. But I gotta apparently go back to rebuilding the groups and getting a bunch of people in here. But it's good when this fall as well.
No, let me throw a message in general.
No, it's good. Right now, it's good. It's fine. They miss out, they miss. But yeah, we were getting like 25 people. It come back to like, whew.
Interesting texture.
Yeah. Ace low low. Much different than the ace queen 4, ace stuff like that. So
Yeah. The 4 and the 3 just shouldn't interact too much with button rate. There is a lot more sets, so maybe we have to be respectful of that. Also, we don't open 4s and 3s pure. Maybe we
Right.
open 4s pure, but not 3.
yeah, this is an interesting one. Ace low low.
Yeah, these are tough boards for sure. I would go 33. I wouldn't be shocked to see some 83. I don't think we would over
No.
that. Probably not that high of a global betting frequency, but ace king would be a very frequent bet because we just need to start coolering the worst ace X, and I don't think the king really blocks any continues or is on blocking many bluffs. Actually, it's maybe it does unblock bluffs because you wouldn't really bluff any king ups. But yeah, I think we're just starting with a bet. I could see any size being reasonable here.
Yeah,
I would be maybe not having 3s in our range. I would be like a little bit concerned about like going super big. But yeah, I think 33 it's hard to go wrong.
right.
But I could see 83. I would just bet as well.
B Money, what do you think of my
That's
man?
fair.
You betting pure here? You ever checking?
No, I mean I'm mixing here. I probably was default checking too much in this spot, but I think this is a spot where like it's just going to be heavily mixed across the board because he has so much nothing, but like and he's got 4s, he's got 3s, he's got ace 4, he's got ace 3, but you can go like you can bet and still get called. You can get called by like an underpair here that's not probably going to get action on the later street. But then again, like you basically have the nuts in your hand, you so no protection, and he might not have nothing. So you probably checking's probably okay too. It's like, you know, I'm going to say checks. I probably overcheck in this spot, but you could probably anything other than like an overbet is correct.
Yeah, I mean that's very honest. That's very honest of you to think like, oh, you think you check too much here, and
Yeah, the naked ace high boards, I probably overcheck. obviously if there's two paying cards, you can see bet a ton from under the gun, but I probably overchecked the naked ace high boards.
Yeah, and this is gonna be good to look at because we're gonna look at strategically how the rest of our ace X on some of these run out to look. And if you think you're checking too much, we should see and try to maybe plug that leak. Certainly high up enough in our range where we can get value from a lot of ace X. Worse, ace X is gonna have in his range. He's not only gonna have the nuts. He probably has ace 10, ace jack, all these other hands. Population is probably not three betting any of the other suited ace X and calling ace 10 to ace queen and not three betting enough. So I would think we can bet for value a lot here. They're going to still be floating with some pairs as well. So I would probably be betting this a bit more. And then I have checked it as well. So let's see.
Yeah.
Go small. And look at this. It's mostly fucking checking. Be money. Be correct. But I mean, yeah, it is.
I just
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
it's the under the gun, the under the gun range versus the late position is weird because it's so different from, even low jack first button. But like the boards where you don't need any protection, just love to check. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Like
very good.
And he has so much, he just has so much nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's basically, you have the board locked down and he has just so much nothing that's not going to improve really.
Yeah, and then our value range, like all this is gone, right? We bet we lose every single one of these things we should. We're not. I mean, it's not. He should be meeting MDF, but in real life,
Can we look at the range comparison?
Ranges. Here we go. Here's the buttons range.
Yeah, we
Look at all this.
have like a small range advantage and that's it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can go back to this. Oh, yeah, ranges. There we go. I mean,
could
the
be wrong.
problem is down here as well, like, yeah.
He has a bit more than nuts, but
Wait a minute, is this right?
There's something weird going on here.
Yeah, here, let me do, you could just do this. Wait a minute, strategy. So we don't, that showed deuces, but I think the weight
Yeah.
it had a full weight of deuces. Like deuces are mostly folded. We have threes and fours, which is, having threes here feels kind of oddball, but.
Oh, I bet when you went on the ranges, it was giving it full weight to everything.
Yep.
And then it was taking out cards for the card removal on the flop. So that's why aces, fours, and threes were not full weighted.
That makes sense.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Because they would have.
Yeah, I agree. It was like, it's like not a great way of displaying the information, but that's what was going on.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if you switch his range to like the hijack range, I bet you there's more betting. I could be wrong, but he's gonna have more ace X flatting there that you're getting value from on that board.
Yeah, we'll play around with maybe some other positions.
You mean hijack opens or hijack defends?
No, if he
gun,
calls from the
hijack
hijack.
I think we get more checks. I think we check more the closer the caller is to us.
Uh-oh, we have a debate. Hijack call, BB fold, any reports. Checking more.
Oh, on that board, yeah, but
No, it's not even board. This is the
No,
range in general.
That's globally.
That's globally in
66%.
reports. 60% check. You're checking more.
Yeah, as the caller gets closer to our position, we check more.
Right. I just meant on that specific board because it was ace high and so dry.
Oh, ace
Same
four,
things
three,
apply
rainbow.
here, though. The king, queen, the king 10, the ace.
The two sets that
Yep.
GPT or God's Big Toe pointed out.
Yep. You have two sets. You bet. That's paired. So, yeah, I don't want to get lost in the sauce in this spot because we could be here forever. And I just want to drill spots and get thought processes together. Wait a minute, practice. Is my trainer spot still going to be there? Yes. So we did bet. Let's see what fresh hell awaits from us taking this line. It's not the worst EV. We're losing a little bit of EV relative to the others, but it's fine. Now what, Andrew? We did bet and you've been called. How you proceed?
So at the flop, we pulled out most of his jack X. Like this is just a super brick. I'm probably just betting big and checking sometimes too. Maybe checking 30% of the time.
Okay.
I think we're gonna be pretty polar here. Like just ace 10, ace queen plus is just gonna go for a big bet. Most of the time it makes some checks.
Geometric 83.
I think on an 82 I would probably check, but I think we're just doing most frequent action. I would just bet. It would be close though.
Mixing in some
Match.
check and then going geometric. B money, what are your thoughts here, man? You nailed the flop. If you did happen to see bet, you're
Again,
here as a C bet.
we bet. Again, it's tough because you fold out. He's not calling a double barrel with underpass probably, so it's probably a decent amount of checking, but you can get value from ace X. It's probably it's probably mixed between checking and like betting. I'm gonna say
Geometrically?
9. Yeah, it's probably polar here.
Ooh. Not as much checking.
Oh yeah,
but-
just betting. Yeah.
And I'm glad we're all aware enough that we want to use geometric sizings in this spot. That's very good. Both of you guys, good shit. When we are betting, we're betting big. Kind of on a more polar side, setting up an SPR to get all three. And a 5.
So we definitely lose to some stuff that called on the turn. We lose to some ace 5 that won't be super frequent. We lose to 5-4 that has probably gotten here in some capacity. Still beating all the ace queen, ace 10. When we looked at the ranges, he was flatting a ton of suited ace X that we still beat. Fuck man, whenever a wizard gives me the 10%, the answer. I could see 10% being a legitimate thing here. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if we're just like, you got me.
10% call, 10% fold. Well, we'll have to see what happens, but so you want to go 10% here?
A little bit. I'll risk it. I'll risk it.
Risk the
I'll go 10%.
biscuit.
I don't think we lose that much
Can I-
value because if we
Hold
do
on,
jam,
Joey.
the
Hold on.
ace X is definitely like just
Mhm.
indifferent and gonna start mixing folds, I would think. So I would be very open to going 10%, just getting called by those, maybe getting called by a few other like stray hands that are just like somehow got here on the river.
All right, 10%
Yeah,
it
10% maybe
is.
30%.
All right, Joey, what were we saying, buddy?
I just wanted to interject that I don't think the 5 is as good for his range as he was making it out to be, because with our large bet on the turn, he shouldn't be in there with any gut shots.
Well, I'm saying like pair plus gut shot.
Yeah, pair plus got
Like I don't think 5-4 is gonna full turn.
can't. 5-4 meets MDF for sure in position with the pair and the gut shot. Ace deuce, ace 5.
You really think ace?
aces.
Yeah, ace deuce does call.
Dude, I mean, the solver's not
Yeah,
gonna be
ace
folding
deuce,
top
ace
pairs and
five.
gut shots in position. It ain't
Yeah,
happening. We'll wait till we look.
lose,
You'll see.
There's probably no 35. My heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's
Oh, 10% gets the fold anyway.
I feel
See,
like
this is why I don't like Wizard too. It gives me 31% for playing like a genius. the whole way.
Yeah. That was really good on the river. I mean, it works, but yeah. But you're on the right track, right? We just want to block.
I've seen a couple of spots like this, but I feel like if we barrel the turn with a decent size, I feel like we don't then have a lot of 10% on the
For
river.
sure.
I feel like
It would have to be.
I feel like if you barrel the turn, your block bet is, other than a few spots, is 33% on the
Okay.
river.
I gotcha.
I'm not
Very good.
100% sure of that, but that's one of the heuristics
Yeah.
I've noticed. I've been basically doing only this spot for like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
And then one of the questions I've been asking myself, especially if you look at that spot, like if you check there, like is he gonna bet worse that you can call?
You're continuing with his value range at that point.
Right, so is he, if you check, is he gonna bet ace, queen, or ace 10 there for value? It's dicey. You don't wanna
Yeah.
you don't wanna get owned, so blocking makes sense. So your hand, ace, king there is probably worth more than a 10% block. It's probably worth.
Yeah,
like 32%.
Hold on.
As soon as I saw the result, it was like kind of just obvious to me. It's like, well, all the hands that are calling 10% are happy to call 35%. It's just like, why lose out on a big line versus ace 8 suited?
Yeah,
Good,
like,
but
do
like
we
a
have any
familiar-
10%?
No, probably not.
Little bit.
Huh?
Little bit.
The two
Rounding
pairs,
error.
the low 2 pairs, it looks like, or an ace,
Yeah.
queen.
Golly. Ooh,
Why is ace nine jamming?
nice.
Hmm.
I fucking don't know, Mergy.
Probably a bluff.
Show that, yeah, show the equity.
How's top pair gonna jam as a bluff?
Show the
God,
equity,
it's-
not the EV.
Hmm.
I bet it does get a better hand to fold. I bet it would
Nah.
be interesting to see if it got some sort of worse hand to call and some sort of better hand to fold. I don't know what that, it can't be though. Go ahead, go into the all in and call nude
I'm sorry.
and
Like he probably has to fold it. You see, look, he's folding ace, queen,
fold, and
It's folding
ace six
out
fold.
better. It's ace queens mixing fold.
and
bro.
ace 10 he's folding out.
Golly.
No, look, and ace 6 and ace 7 call.
I'm blocking.
Is that huge?
Oh my god,
That's a 6.
great.
6-5
That's
you
great.
get here. Yeah.
Good eye, whoever pointed out that ace 9 was jamming.
Molten Savage Ashes.
Yeah, don't try it at home.
No.
I'm never finding.
All right. Yeah, let's give somebody else a shot. My man, good shit. Thank you. Ashley, do you want to get in here?
Yeah, sure. What? Let's do it.
Yeah, you get the fun one right out the gate.
This board is terrible for us. I'll check this hand. Queen jack suited.
How much of a range do you think we're checking on this board?
A lot. I would say maybe 80.
What are you doing with your 9s, 10s, and jacks?
Well, I might actually overbet 9s, 10s, and jacks here. This might be a board where we overbet those hands.
Let's
some
look at
frequency.
that. Because if you're doing that in game and it's not a thing, you're gonna be plugging a leak.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is just dead. But this
Actually,
is
I might not overbet on straight boards. Oh, no,
Mama,
it
there
isn't.
goes
Okay.
that man again. I asked that. Well, 9's not as much. It's still 50-50. But I mean, when it is betting, it is over betting. Look who's getting good at the game. Big and infrequent. Here you go.
Is there any difference in the suits with 9s?
Looks like when you don't have the spade, you're checking more. When you have a spade, you're fucking bombing it more when you do
Okay.
that. Yeah, when you have the spade, you eat. When you don't, you even check. 10s. I mean, yeah, 10s, you got a pile of money in mostly. But 10s, no spade, checking more than with the spade. All this. I mean, aces, very high check frequency, doesn't need a lot of protection.
And
Probably a
actually,
primary. Go ahead.
it's the other way around with aces. The spades are checking more than the off spades.
Mm-hmm. But since we have 10s, jacks, and queens, how are we gonna find our bluffs on these boards? Like, this is the shit that I think is lost in the sauce for me, not using this king jack with the spade as a bluff, as a big overbet bluff enough, if ever. Like, it's just something we need to be incorporating in our games, and I think this is a good spot. These hands are kind of cool to use and look at as well, because they match the characteristics of these hands. So make sure you're finding this at some frequency. I think it's really good.
Can you look at look at the flops if you change the first the 8 to a 7 and then the 8 to a 9, see how it changes? I bet if you turn that to a 7, there's a lot.
7
more.
of spade. What do you want?
Yeah, just turn it to
God,
a
we're
7.
just
Ooh,
It's
Yeah, so it's a lot more
checking.
checking. And I bet if you turn that to a 9, it's even more over betting.
Oh yeah, 10. If you make it 10, 6,
Yeah.
4, right? Or, but
Make
let's
it
just
a
go
9. Make it a 9.
I mean,
Yeah,
no, it's not
so
as much.
That's interesting.
Yeah, 9's not quite as connected as an 8.
No, yeah, and you don't
yeah,
want
but it gets rid of the actual straight. So he could have 5. I don't know how much 5-7 he has in his range, but he could have 5-7. There's no straight there, so you get to bet more when there's more draws than actual straights.
How about an offsuit? How about an offsuit 9 here, right? Like
It is, so even though there was
Right.
less overbetting, the checking frequency went down.
Yeah,
from-
he's less over
Yeah.
bet, but that's what I meant. Yeah, you're just gonna bet.
It just shifted into an 83.
all right. Go ahead, Ashley. You can finish the hand. So you checked like you should. Break turn. What are you thinking?
I would check again in game.
Had you checked one of your king, queen, king, jack, king 10, queen 10, jack 10, any of those combos with a single spade here, would you find a bet here? And if so, what
Pure.
size? Pure and
what
what
size?
size? Yep.
Let me think about this. So I think Button bets a lot of his flush draws on the flop. So I
Especially
believe
for population. Yep.
Yes. So I believe we're more heavy on flushes than he is. And with this SPR, I could see, actually, I don't know about with flushes. I could see an overbet being a thing. If we did check king jack with a spade, I could see either 83 or 125.
Okay.
I'm
Anybody
leaning
agree?
125 because we have more flushes than Button, because Button bets a lot of flush draws on the flop.
Anybody agree? If
I
you
don't
have,
think we have big bets when the flush completer comes in, even if
Yep.
we check.
no big bet, I don't think we're gonna be overbetting out of
Yeah.
position like in this spot. I think obviously this is a check. Oh, we're mixing a
don't
little bit more than I
necessarily-
thought.
I don't necessarily like to give up totally when it goes check, check.
No, that's why I was asking
I
about
mean-
this region. This is very important, and I want to be looking at this. Not overbetting, but Ashes, you're on the right track, my friend. You want to be betting, but you just want to use a bigger sizing in these kind of spots. King 10 with the spade, 83%, 83%. This is the region where I think we could all use some work in, right? Like these overcard danglers with the single spade. This region when we get here, right?
Yeah,
I feel like
I
we
do
have to
think
spend-
if you just like never bet big on like the flush complete, you would be pretty well off. I could see why this would be an exception, especially with the low spade. It unblocks all of our flushes, all of our suited Broadways that we open.
And if you just mix your size into a 60 here, I think it's good as well.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
go
true.
like bet medium. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Joey. What were you saying, buddy? I mean to cut you off.
Oh, yeah, I just feel like queen high is not going to show down very well. So we have to at least try to give it one shot, either here or the river if he checks again.
Yep, and
Can
then
you-
like go ahead.
I just hate to check down and give up totally.
Can you see the actual difference in flushes? Real quick. It probably is.
Where's it at?
I would go into ranges maybe.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
It might be better. It might just be ranges and like
Oh.
best hand or filters.
Filters under the.
Okay, so 6.4% flushes for.
Where? Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm looking on the right hand side.
You see that? You see?
Oh,
all
right
the
here,
bet
right here, right here, right
sizes?
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't know whose range that is.
This is under the gun.
I think that's our range. I think right. It's gotta be.
Yeah, it's us
Is
right
it-
here because it's our strategy.
Okay. Just click any action and see what it is for imposition.
We'll do this. We'll go whatever. 7%.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
it really doesn't. Yeah. How often? You're probably not supposed to 3-bet suited broadways here a whole lot. They don't want to get jammed on.
Right
Pre-flop.
here. I hate how this isn't lit up. Strategy.
But it's all full frequency, so it's not very helpful.
Yeah.
Then that's got to be, hey, the square box next to the suits. Click the drop down on that. Yeah.
Range
There
height.
you go.
Yep.
Right? That's better, right? Or is
Range
it?
height. Well,
or
yeah, you can
normal?
see how much they're showing up with it. So this,
Yeah, so now it's
So, I
weighted,
mean,
right?
this is fine. Yeah. It gives
Okay.
us a better idea how much it's going to be in the range. I think it's fine. I'm in the hands. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's let my man finish his hand. We keep getting lost in the sauce. It's good. You're just checking that.
Okay, it's just a hand I wanna bluff with. I'm bluffing jack highs if I ever get here, so I'm bluffing, do we have a showdown? This button never, I don't think so, cuz even if we check and I think button bets, and he gives up like jack 10 of diamonds or something, and we just have to fold. I think this mixes between check and. What can we represent if we go big here? What?
Pat,
Making,
is
I don't
the
think
button. Go ahead.
betting big makes much sense. I think we mix between check and block bet. Check and 20.
No
just pure check.
bluffs. Capped.
No plus.
Capped.
You know what? You know what I think the problem is here. Let me finish the hand.
Fold here. Just fold.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Go ahead, be money. What were you say about?
So one thing I learned from Joel on Tuesday was that in these out of position spots, when he's checking back, like that's a pretty high, that means his equity is usually pretty high. That means he probably has showdown value. So you get to this spot where he's going to have a lot of like, he's going to have a lot of like sevens and like 6, 7. He's either going to have like ace high or like a piece of the board, which you're not, and we don't have any 5s. So if we bet 2, he's probably not folding anything. So then if you want to bet bigger, like what is he?
Woo. I would, you never would see this in game.
How did he?
Oh, in
didn't bet
turn, he didn't bet.
anything.
Yeah, you'd never ever see that in game. Population is betting in the back seat 100% of the time. Ooh, you can
And
make me
also, like,
dumb.
as the out of position player, like, at least in theory, we're always gonna have some trap flushes here. Like,
Huh.
we're never just gonna always bet 100% of our flushes. So it might just be like really infrequent, very polar. Just try to put all of his bluff catchers in a bin. Like, it's weird to think about, but like the check is probably polarizing for us because we're gonna be trapping it, but it's not gonna have many traps, if any.
He can't bet 3 streets or 2 streets for value and too many runouts there because we still have overpair on flop, and then on turn we might have some checks, and he doesn't want to get check raised with no spade. So that makes sense.
This board
go ahead,
I'm
bye.
checking is queen.
Checking ace queen. How much are we betting overall on this board? If you had to
So-
guess, that's your whole range. How much are you betting? It's a quick number.
So on a straight board, it's interesting. No, we have 0, 10, 7s. Button, no, does button ever have 10, 7? Probably not.
Theoretically, being in real life, you're gonna have like 40-50% of the players that like the hand. You want to call that?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
live.
So I
checking
think
this-
check match may be, whoa. If it's checking,
40%.
if
is
it's betting
betting.
that much with ace queen, this might be a bigger bet board than I thought it was. I was thinking maybe 25% bet, but
I mean, I'm checking.
I
This
would think-
Wait, I'm checking this a lot myself.
I'm checking this a lot, but I
A
want to see how
ton.
much it does bet.
It's fair. We'll look at it. Neat.
And then, on the 5, even with the ace of diamonds, this just has, I think, if it goes check, we might be ace, jack, ace 10 enough at the time, so I want to check this again.
Only checking for sure for me.
Okay, on ace, river. We have. I like, what size do I like? How much checking does button have with, how much straights does button check with a 7? Probably not much. If any. So the ace really favors us. Do I like a 10.5? I don't know. I could see 10.5 being okay. But my instinct is to go 5.5.
Mm-mm.
This was
Smaller.
best.
5.5.
It was good. There.
Wait.
What?
With
Go
the,
ahead, Joey.
when you see a 4-liner, always think about going down one step in betting.
Okay.
How
keep
many
that in
hands
mind.
was that, Ashes? Was that 2 or 3?
3, I believe. Because we had this one. We had the.
Yeah, you got 3 like low connected boards, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right, we'll go B money.
here
Give me
we
a
go.
few. King high pair board. B money. Thank you, Ashes. Good stuff, buddy. We'll go through one more of these, kind of look at this spot one more time. Take a quick break, and then we can either maybe do an earlier position call and then ICM work. So B money, it's your world, dog.
If that 8 is a low card, it's like almost always 20%. It still might be 20%. I'm going to end up on 20%, but I'm not going to be, this hand is so strong. I'm not going to be surprised if there's checking in there because it is so strong, but I might, yeah.
33%.
Yeah.
But yeah, 20%, 33% betting more than it is checking. And now the fun happens. This is where the magic happens on these turns when you've been called.
I mean, I'm 100% checking in this spot, which I'm just not betting. I'm not gonna lie. I can see that being I can definitely see that being a mistake though, because they might have him floating with ace highs and they're calling a second barrel with ace high, or he still can, we might have some of it, we might still be able to, we go so small, so we don't really condense it all. So he's still probably calling with all pairs. You know what? I bet we probably can bet small again.
Hey. All right. So what are you doing here? You initially you went with
I'm not gonna lie because I'm checking here, but I bet you
Do what
there's
you
some
do in
bet
game.
small there.
You
In game, I would check, but I
Okay,
bet you
yeah,
there's some
yeah.
bet small too.
Okay. Andrew, what are you doing here, man? I'm assuming you would bet flop here small as well.
Yeah, I would
when you
just
get
be
to
range
this-
betting this flop and then checking this turn, playing pretty polar, but
So does anyone have a
such a
betting
drive where
range?
like I can see what people are saying with like the bet small again, but like just like whenever it comes break like this, I'm just defaulting to 88 or B80 and check. And
Now,
just
when you guys do bet,
all I want.
what is the betting range outside of a king here? Like, is anybody betting pocket aces for 2 queens? Or are you only betting the fucking king? Are you betting your flush draws? Like, is the betting range not polar and it's only strong? Like, I need to know what people are c-betting here.
Yeah, I mean I would
Double
be
barreling, excuse me.
I would be betting ace 8 plus. And like checking some of like the queens, jacks, tens. Then ace 8. Aces probably, yeah, it depends on how often they would have to defend ace high twice. If they do have to call a lot of ace highs, it'd be my saying I would be more inclined just to check aces. Also needing like 0 protection, obviously, would funnel us more into a check. But yeah, it's mostly going to be king X and like some ace 8.
All right, B money, how about you?
I'm curious to see based on that logic if nines and if like I bet you queens just checks a ton here and maybe jacks too, but I'm curious if nines and tens still bet small again.
Clean up equity, deny, and get value.
Yeah,
from an
like I'll be
and
the one thing I've noticed is if we're so conditioned to like later position opens and later position calls where there's so much checking, but there's always just going to be like a smidge more betting once you throw that under the gun because the range is always so small. So it's like it's not intuitive to me at this point.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm probably just over check. I'm just going to say check, but I bet you this small bet. There's going to be small betting in there. Yeah.
Going small again, very good. None of the big shit. When they've called, we've condensed and we don't want to be putting in a ton of money. But let's look at this
With this
though,
hand
man. This is-
specifically, we're not gonna be betting big, but I think with range, there's gonna be at least some bigger
This is
bets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look.
I think
I need
just
to
this
look at
hand
the full weight.
specifically it has incentive to
Look and see.
choose smaller size.
Where are your bluffs coming from? The region that's blocking the king X, the queen jack is a prime candidate. Here the queen 10s. So we everybody missed this and is checking too much. We've all missed this. We had questions about what you want to do with some of these over pairs. Jacks, queens. We're like, we want to be checking those. Nope, you want to be betting this. And I think the premise is we get value for more of the under pairs. So if you have queens and jacks, it's more likely to have 9s, 10s, 7s, and stuff like that, where you can get another street of value from the over pair to the 8. It looks like 9s mixing check a little bit more. Your 8x, for all of us saying bet the 8x, 8x is fucking checking more so. Ace 8, mostly checking. And when it is betting going small.
So I bet you if you look at his call range on the turn C bet, he probably has to fold out a lot of those under pairs at that point. I could be wrong, but I feel like that if you're checking 9s and 10s, it's probably because he has to fold out like 5s through 7s at that point.
Yep. I mean, this region very important
Yeah.
to be looking at. This queen jack, queen 10, jack 10. It looks like we're just doing a ton of fucking betting. Go ahead,
How
Joey.
much of our flush draws are we
I
betting?
don't know about folding any lower pairs here to too small
got you.
bet on a paired board.
Okay, we're betting most of them.
To double barrel you, I mean, you know what I'm saying? To double a barrels, it's a different world. You asked about the flush draws.
Yeah.
Suited spades. Bet.
Okay. Just majority betting.
Fucking batting. This shit is so good. Ace queen and ace jack. Doesn't mind just checking. So good. Showdown. Could have the best hand. Realize the equity. But the rest of these are batting. Ace deuce, pair, and a flush draw. The ones that don't have much showdown that block his king, queen, king, jack, king 10, king 9, all that kind of stuff, bet. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, let me do back this. All right, what now?
The question is here is blocking a thing, which I don't know. I'm probably just checking here. Blocking might be a thing because you can get caught. He might have to defend with like ace jack, ace 10 if you get to this point for a 10% bet. But I'm just gonna say check. Yeah, no, there's no blocking.
Yeah, you weren't like too far off. Like, look at the EV. It's like it's funny,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not too far off. I like where your head's at, so it's reasonable. And you just win. Oh, I mean,
No,
lose.
yeah.
No, and that hand is not folding.
Yeah, and he's not folding. Yeah, he's not folding.
All right, number 2, you get the goods on the jack high board, jack by 4.
This is good. Dry jack high board is gonna mix. Again, I'm probably over checking this spot with kings. I'm much more likely to bet with like a jack or queens. But I'm gonna say check here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna check in a ton with this as well to protect the rest of my range. But I'm not exactly sure on the frequency of how much I want to bet here. Maybe it wants to bet all the time to start getting value from Jack X and start getting 3 streets and start stacking it and going 33. Nowadays, I would try going 33 a little bit more, but let's go ahead and check. And when you do bet, you're fucking dead wrong and go big.
Yeah.
It's that king, queens in the overpair region, kings, queens.
You can get
king, queen.
You can get called by so much with the big bet. That's why. Like he's gonna call you with any jack. He's gonna call
9s, 10s for 1 sometimes as well.
6s too. He's gonna call 6. He's gonna call with any pair, and he's
For
got
1.
Yeah, right. So you're getting a ton of value just by betting the 5.
I mean, yeah, these pairs become really indifferent. Pocket 9 should be folding, but I think in game people will just peel one here. Look at all, and I think the emphasis is all these Jack X
Right,
symmetry hands they have.
right,
We
he's got
just
so much top
target
pair.
so much top pair. We target. He's got these gut shots with a backdoor flush draws and a handful of pairs that we just get value from. So, yep, pushing it. He also has 6'5", right? 6'7" in his range, 8'6", 7'8". So that's important to see, and we just want to go big. Buck, we do check. You checked.
He definitely has fives in his check back range. So that probably limits the amount of betting and big betting we can do. I don't know. He's gonna have some jacks in his check back range. So this is where I get screwed. This is where I get screwed up because intuitively I just want to bet big here and go like 5.9. But I screw this up sometimes because I think in theory, a lot of the times, like if we double check, he's supposed to do the betting for us with whatever we're targeting.
Right.
So that's where I get screwed up. But I'm gonna say in game, I'm just gonna go 5.9 and target his weaker jacks and whatever under pairs he might have.
And it's interesting, whatever we're targeting almost should be betting itself, and we allow him to have more keep bluffs in his range where we fold out a lot of air hands. And yeah, I know what your thoughts is, and I struggle with that in game and get confused on how to interpret this spot. But it also feels like we miss a street of value when we check anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
See, it's big. Yeah.
it's just going fucking gigantic here.
I guess he
then
probably has a lot less.
you got it.
He's got
Then
a
the
lot-
backdoor flush draw comes in as well.
Yeah.
So I make this mistake as well, my friend. I do this way too much. I think I mean I find it in late position because you'll see this a lot in cutoff versus button, hijack
Yeah.
versus button. When they check, it goes check, check. Then you start over betting turns a lot more in that spot. And the same concept applies versus button. You still, when you check these very strong hands, you still get over bets to set up the SPR.
Yeah.
To get it all. So
yeah, if that's I wouldn't. Yeah, I would use. I didn't know
find
if
it here as
5
well a lot.
discounted. I don't know if the 5 kind of took that the overbet out of our thing, but I guess he doesn't
Yeah,
have
I know
enough
what you mean.
fives.
No, just ace 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had 5, 6, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, even those kind of hands are probably mixing at some frequency.
Yeah.
Bets in the back seat. Let me make sure of that. Where's he always? Yeah, even if it is 5x here, 4-5 is betting pure. Ace 5 is mixing bet here 60%. So he doesn't even have full weight of check back 5x in his range with the few 5x that he has. 6-5 even mixing mostly bet here strategy. So we don't have to be as fearful of that. And the neat thing is it can overbet here because some of
Still
his
has all
weaker
that.
jack,
Yeah.
his weaker jack X is mixing check enough of like queen jack and all this is still mixing enough. So it's pretty cool. Like you still get some. Well, let's do one more quick hand for you, then we'll take a break.
I'm definitely over checking this spot again, but it's probably a decent amount of check because it's one of our weaker aces, but I bet you there's still betting mixed in there. It's probably not going to be big. It's probably going to be 1.4. But I'm just going to say check because that's what I'm probably doing in game.
Yeah, even though I feel like this board categorically falls into the ace jack 4 where we're betting like 60, 70, 65% of the time or something like that. I feel like this specific hand class feels really reasonable as a check since it's not going to be one of the ones we want to bet 3 streets with.
Right.
It protects our checking range in a lot of senses. And then we're going to use a lot of ace king, ace queen, ace jack, maybe even ace 10 could fall into the category. And then we're going to use some king queen bets, some king 10 with the backdoor flush draw. A lot of that kind of stuff would probably want to bet as well. And yeah, and then I imagine maybe even some of our jacks with backdoor flush draws and stuff we might even want to bet. But I would check.
Is it
this
a big mistake on this
Yeah.
board just to be simplifying to 83 or check?
Yeah, probably. Let's
You
see,
like the block is a pretty mandatory thing to have. Because I would just be simplifying to bigger check. Maybe that's just
and it
bad.
doesn't even really have a lot of
Yeah, it
bigger
doesn't use it.
sizings.
This is a board that traditionally
Well, I think
is-
what the problem is here is like button should have like ace queen and ace jack in full frequency,
sure.
which is really going to drive down our bet sizing.
Yeah.
Because we're both gonna
And
have
even-
equal
even
personal nuts,
jacks
even though we
flat
have ace
fine.
king. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they flat jacks as well, which is kind of problematic, and it doesn't allow us to go too ape shit with 83.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, still look, I thought it would be 65% betting, but yeah, it's even betting more than that. Like, so it's betting a lot. And still using these smaller pairs. This is surprising me as well, B Money. Like, I think I'm checking this way too fucking much.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me, it's a little, it sucks.
Like if you bet
fuck
small,
me.
he's probably still defending any pair. He's just defending
Got
any
shots, all
king,
this
king,
jack.
queen, all that stuff, you know, so.
Yep. And then we still get to mitigate the pot size when he has his ace nines, ace tens having, and we don't have to have the increased variance of calling two bets from his size, right? Like, I think that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Because we decrease the variance when we just use the smaller sizing here. We keep control of the pot, and we don't have to be subjected to his bet sizing a lot in these spots, which I think is a crucial part of the game tree in the node, like, that makes our lives easier. And we're not playing as high variance as a style. It's something that, like, I discuss and think about a lot, like why this bet is so good in some of these instances, rather than us just checking, because it makes our lives easier in a different kind of way. Do you ever think about that? Instead of us needing to check call and they go 60% and then they go 55% on the turn, we're like, what the fuck?
It's the
do we
same.
do?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same concept as block betting, except it's just on the flop. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and it decrease, and I think that's why some of the best players can navigate large fields and crush it and like make these runs, because they're like not playing such a high variance style where they're going to be at the disadvantage of needing to play the variance of check calling versus random bet sizes and stuff like that, not knowing where they're at. So certainly something we can work on a lot, like finding these little leads and these C bets. And I think autopilot checking just makes it hard on you. Long-winded explanation there.
so we checked.
Yep.
Just calling.
Yep.
Check.
Yep. Block or nah?
One.
He's doing it. I would think about going. The four size feels interesting because we can't.
And see, I
probably go
overuse
four.
the one, but I noticed that a lot of times when we have top pair and it's with an ace, it thinks it's worth more than the one bet, but I'm going one, but I'm not going to be surprised if it's four.
Yeah. One. I would
Yeah,
go
four.
Yeah, four. Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
that third. Yeah, see what you go for.
Do you
But-
think that gets folded? You think in game against, mid-low stakes guys, is that's going to get folded too much, or you think that's going to get called enough?
King Jack will call. Queen Jack will sometimes call you.
Will those? I would be concerned that in game those hands won't bet a position.
But you
I
know what
think-
happens with the one sometimes? I think I
Gonna
get
pure
fucked with.
Back all their jack X and just be like, I have second pair. Like I
Yeah,
check.
but there's people that are fucking can't find a fold button. Like, I don't know. It just feels like
No, but what I'm saying is like those hands don't exist because they just check that flop too much.
no, we check back. It went check flop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
2.3.
Oh, it went check flop.
No, they bet flop. It went check.
They
back.
bet
His bet
flop.
flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he
flop.
bet flop. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think one might be better in game just because like the jack X doesn't exist. Like it probably should.
I think people stab at, but not as much
Yeah.
as having some ace X or whatnot. I know what you mean. You think a population,
They just have, like,
especially
second
from
pair
your
that doesn't really
experience,
need
they don't
protection.
stab as much. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that sentiment. Like, I think if we're playing a game versus a human not going to have as much Jack X stab.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say. I mean, I play with some aggressive Azure cats that are probably going to bet everything. When
Oh, sure. On ACR, like, yeah, sure.
or even live poker, the motherfuckers I'm playing with, like in
Yeah.
Dublin, would just be 100% stabbing if you check. Like,
Does
it's
he-
really
if-
hard.
Does he have to call with? See, I feel like the 10. I feel like jacks are kind of in it. I mean, I feel like jack should be like a big check back here. But a lot of his bluffing range that he's going to bet with on the flop is going to have the 10. It's going to have
Yeah.
king 10, queen 10,
Yeah.
10-9, stuff like that. So that the question is, if we bet four here, does he have to call with all those 10s?
That's pretty marginal in real life.
Yeah, that's like,
From a theory perspective, it might just be 0 or printing very little, but
yeah, see,
so you got called. But I think, let's see, that's a good question. Now you lose all the fucking 10. No, that's 2 pair.
king
So
10,
you
queen
still
10.
get the jacks. You still get value from the jack, jack X, all the jack X. Queen 10 calling you. You're getting fucked with though.
Is queens jabbing full value or is it bluff? I can't even tell.
The what?
Queens.
Bluff. Blocking the straight.
Shit.
Just shit on. Yeah. The solver is just going to try to make your life hell blocking the nuts.
So
People this good. No way.
Is that full, is that the full frequency view? I mean, is that the full height view?
Yeah, I
No,
just
yeah.
his range height. Like, I don't like, it's hard to kind of see, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So he probably, so like, I bet you that's a high, like, I bet you that his C-bet in position there is super low frequency because of that, right?
Here we go. Whoops. Oh shit. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, he's checking a lot in the backseat.
Yeah, he's only betting 7, you know, what is he betting?
Yeah, like he's betting 47%. $37. Sorry. Go here. Cool. Let's take a quick break. Let's take 5. I'm gonna let the dog out super quick. We'll take 5 minutes. We come back. We'll look at just quickly versus earlier position calls in the same stack depth. And then we'll do some ICM work here as well and try to work on our ICM game, money bubble and in the money, and try to find some good spots to 3-bet and look at versus RFIs. So, all right, let's do that. I'll be back. Some bitch. Sorry, guys. My bad. All right. Let's change it up. How much worse does it get for us? Do that. Flop any, checking more. Quickly looking, I think this was a situation where we were checking 60-something% overall, 66% overall. Let me see something here. Damn, we're even checking paired boards even a lot more, just checking more overall in general, paired 10, paired king. Ace high paired boards aren't bet as much as king high paired boards, 10 and jack high paired boards. Okay. I want to see that real quick. Damn, we're checking even on rainbow boards. Okay.
Okay.
All right, it's gonna be tough. Much less c betting here, much tighter calling range. Calling range is probably tighter than our opening range. Let me see. Yep. We have ace 9, ace 10. They have better ace X, stronger ace X, even though they don't have ace king. Ace queen's practically pure frequency, ace jack. These pairs in there, suited 9x, suited 10s.
Is ace nine off if you open?
Yeah.
Reminder gun +1. Okay.
Yeah, 40, yeah.
Oh, at
Yeah.
40. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
at
Okay. That
40.
makes. Okay. That makes.
Yep. Go here. All right, go back to this. Who have I not called on? I think I got Joey.
All right. I wasn't here during the whole thing when did you look at
I did.
their aggregate?
Yeah, but I think this
Um,
is a pretty intuitive spot overall when it comes to out
Yeah,
of
we-
position or monotone.
We were
boards.
checking a lot on that monotone boards before, so
Yeah,
with middle pair, I'll check here.
it is pretty strong. It is middle pair with a flush draw. I imagine it might be okay to bet a little bit, but I imagine we could still just check that on here. This is a pretty unique one, with second pair as well, but I would be checking. Obviously,
Yeah,
bet
and
a
if you
little
bet,
bit.
you bet one.
Yeah, you go tiny. So, yep, very good. Turn trips.
Oh. .9 or 5.9. I think with the monotone board, we do size down a bit from what we would typically do. So maybe I'll go 55%.
It's kind of interesting. I was thinking about between these two options as well. I think 55 is just safe. And it's probably mixing between this and that, between the three. So I would be more comfortable using this size as well.
Oh,
but it
it
wants
goes
to go
even
smaller.
smaller.
Yeah, I understand why. I feel like if I don't know in game, I would probably just be somewhere here, to be honest with you. I like have this button. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
We still go smaller. We want to keep his range wide. We keep in worse flush draws. We keep in worse pairs. So I guess it's so strong that it just wants to keep its range wider and
I
not.
think you also need to be conscious that like he's also checked back a lot of queen X on the flop. So
He has ace
ranges
queen, he check.
quite
Yep.
neutral. We both players still have flushes in both places, so like some queen X. Obviously, we will probably have more flushes than he does, but
What are we doing, sir?
I don't know. Damn, I'm on global. I'll close my eyes and push a button.
Haha.
I think, I don't know, go small or large. And if I go small, do I get the fold to a shove? Or a raise?
Beep, beep. You got
I
a
think I'll
global
go
time
five.
break.
I'll
He's
go
going
five.
5. B money, what are you doing? What size would you go here?
What do we bet on the turn? 55?
Yes, sir.
No shit. Yeah, end game, I'm probably just gonna go 5.
Andrew?
Yeah, honestly, I have no clue here.
I feel like I would go
Yeah, I think
8.5.
5 does a really good job of targeting the under pairs with a spade.
Okay.
That would probably just chip it in here, so I definitely like that. I could see just check calling. I could see 5 and then like jam if we get raised on.
God, I'm the only person going 8.5. Maybe I'm
I
spazzing.
could see
I can see
8.5.
8.5.
I can't see any higher than 8.5.
I was about to say I'm only going 8.5.
Everybody apologize to Sixes.
Okay,
I was
okay.
asking, it's like, no 8.5s? Jeez, am I only one?
Yeah, because we probably consolidate, when we bet big on the turn, we probably consolidate his range to under pairs with a spade or ace queen with no spade.
Well, the only thing we're afraid of is the ace of spades.
I'm not afraid. Yeah, I mean, we have the second nuts. Like, I think this is from a value perspective, certainly enough to go about the medium's bet size strength and kind of monetize versus damn near all the flushes. Is really what we're targeting. He has definitely worse flushes, so I'd be targeting all the under pairs, 8s, 9s, stuff like that with the spade. And yeah, I feel like it's really good. Let's see. He doesn't have shit anyway. Let's see. We were wondering when we go, what would you get jammed on? My God. They go kind of ape shit with trips.
That's that.
Oh,
Nobody's
that's a
doing that.
boat. Yeah, they go just.
Is
No
it just jam
way.
pure with a queen, no matter what queen you have?
Yeah. Oh, that's a boat.
How
That's
often
a
do they
boat.
actually have votes here?
That's a boat.
Can you
That's a boat.
do the range height?
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking minuscule, right?
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Nah, they got some.
king queen suited, it's real.
Damn. Now I like going
Well,
five.
If they have a queen here, they probably have more combos of boats than bluffs, right? Or it's pretty close. That's why you can just jam with any queen, probably, right?
Yeah, because your range is also gonna have enough. You're blocking full houses and you're gonna make them indifferent.
Right.
Damn, what a nasty ass just rip with like queen jack. It is. Fuck. It versus. What if we do this? Do we get bluff less? Yeah, you do. You get fucked with less for the big side. The small side actually gets fucked with. Going kind of smallish gets fucked with. I think that's the big thing.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
oh my goodness. Yeah, they don't fuck around nearly as much.
It looks like
Actually,
the frequencies are actually
the frequencies are the same. 23, 20. I mean, it's smaller.
What's
It's
the
less
ace queen
raising.
jam? Is that only with a spade?
Yep. It's mixing.
No.
It has ace queen without a spade, but that one's folding more. Spade.
It's doing a lot of shit with heart diamond, heart club. Looks having the heart.
It actually likes calling. Yeah, it's fucking around, man. It's tough. It's merging like this. It's really tough if they're gonna merge. It's less merging when you use
All the trips
five.
are like
If we bet 5 and he shoves, we gotta fold.
Good call.
Probably.
yeah.
Or-
Oh wait, with
I
the
need to see
queen.
range high.
Oh, but I guess you're also blocking bluffs when you have the queen. Yeah.
Queen, jack.
Well,
Queen jack off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to
just
call
did it.
with the
with the
spade.
spade. Call with the spade.
That's
King jack?
interesting because you also just block all the bluffs. It's like
Yep.
having
yeah,
jack
the
is
queen is so double edged.
That's why I was starting to think with the queen, jack, we have to call.
Aces with the ace of spades folding. What? Folding the
Spades,
nuts.
hearts
It's the
is
heart, it's the heart.
folding.
This is the, so if you go back to the jam, it jams the ace of hearts, queen, no
Yeah.
spade. And it gives up the knot. So when you have aces with the heart, you fold.
Oh my god. Yeah. Nuts. Okay.
Don't forget to call with your royal flush.
Yeah. Don't fold the royal flush. All right, Joey. King Jack, no spade. What are you gonna do here? Are you gonna mix bet ever? And more importantly, are you going to be betting here when you have the king of spades? Those are the kind of spots I want to know. When you have king, queen here, when you have king, jack with the spade, king, queen with a spade, what are you doing?
With a spade, I'm more likely to bet, but I still think we check a lot.
Okay. So you're gonna have worse hands in your range that won't show down. Maybe like queen, jack, right? What are you gonna do with
Yeah.
queen, jack varieties with the spade?
Queen jack with a spade, I think I'm likely to try to bet.
Okay.
Um,
And what
Jack
size?
jack nine with a spade. I don't think I'm betting large when I do bet. But we don't have the nut advantage, so I don't think we get to go large.
Okay, so using that, okay, but we're gonna check this one. And interestingly enough, it does mix in some of the larger barrels. And I
Wow.
think looking at this, because we're gonna have kings and jacks, and when we have jacks and kings, we're gonna use a large bet. And I
Yeah.
think this shit, if you look at your database, not even ever doing this, like I think most people are just checking here every time. And this is why I ask, what are we doing here? And king, well, that's king 10, king jack, right? With a fucking spade.
With a
These
spade,
hands
yeah.
are our bluffs, okay? Queen jack, with a spade. This is it. This is when we need to start going for it. And it's not 30%. It's never using, it's very seldomly using the small size. It's mostly 55 to 83. I wonder if you just catch all in game and go 63 is good. Go ahead. Who was saying something?
10 high flops usually don't have much of the 33. It's usually 55 or bigger. But these boards where it's like the 10 and then two low cards, love the 83% size because you can get same thing with it's like the jack, but even more because it needs more protection. He has a lot of 10s. You can get called by under pairs. Maybe not with this combo, but.
Well, and
Yeah,
another argument I'll make is population probably won't have the correct weighted amounts of overpair with jacks, queens plus. Think they're going to be more heavily weighted to three betting those, especially if your image is one of aggression. You're playing enough pots like I am. I'm just getting three bet by overpair a lot, I'm in this spot. So when they flat, I feel like it's even more of a case to start mixing in these bigger bets when we block the two overs and have equity with the spade as well. Like I missed this ace jack, this ace queen. These are mixing a bit, but I think they could be reasonable just hands to just go ahead and bet. And this is a good note to look at. Very good note to look at, man. Feel like it's too easy to just fucking check.
I thought this one was checking more in practice though, too. The
Mm-hmm.
range, I thought the range would be checking like 60%. It's
What
only
was the
checking
overall?
47.
Yeah, I mean, this board's a 50-50, 10 high board, and being very aware of our range and what we block and what we have, it's really good. So we did check. Brick. It's so easy to just say check here, huh? Are you gonna check here every
Yeah.
time? What are you doing?
No, after checking, I like delayed C betting a lot if they check behind.
Population is probably a bit more capped, but didn't we just have a discussion where when they check these kind of boards, they have a little bit more showdown when they should be checking, and that should lead us to being a little bit more cautious. But you want to bet, and what size are you going, sir?
I think 55%.
Eh.
That's the only one that you don't do.
Yeah,
No
that's the
more.
only one you don't do at all. I mean, EV is pretty close between the rest. You're not giving up too much. At least it is generating
Yeah.
some fold equity.
Yeah,
These
like-
smaller ones are shit.
I'm just trying to deny equity, like, for any two cards that could hit the river.
Well, here it is.
I do think on turn, like,
We'll look at that.
the showdown driven hands they're gonna check are gonna be like 9s and 8s and 7s a lot, so an overbet could like target those hands very efficiently.
We're
and
gonna
just,
still
like-
have enough strong hands in our checking range mixing on. this
Yeah,
one.
so like I think the showdown hands are gonna check are gonna be like less 10x and more like pocket pairs.
All right, Joey, you bluffed a turn. Are you going for it again?
No, I don't think we have any relevant blockers to try anything funny on the river.
And the solver hates you.
I hate the solver.
It hates your guts. It hates your guts. Yeah, it doesn't like it. It says you got to shoot your way out. It feels like you just see this card. It doesn't help you. All the like shit picks up, but it's really a brick, right?
Yeah, I think the jack's a
Golly.
decent blocker to the, but I would prefer like a 9.
You have good unblockers by not having a spade. I'm
Unblocking
just
back
trying
there.
to figure out what you would be jamming for value. Like we don't have 9-7, we don't have 7-5.
All of our 10x that we
That many
checked back.
straights. I guess we have sets.
We have sets. We have overpair as well.
Is
To mix that
as
frequency.
kings are just willing to jam. But
This
you
is
definitely
thin
don't want to
bracket.
have a spade here to bluff. And
Yeah, you do.
Converse
You have
pair.
overpair.
yeah, you just jam over
Wow.
pairs and if you beat.
Yeah, because I mean, we are still mixing, and I think this is important. Like
Yeah,
we
when
are
check
still
check, he
mixing.
doesn't have any flop sets.
Yep.
He might have
So-
some straight. He doesn't have any straights.
Basically, he's not checking anything unless there's some showdown potential.
But he's betting
On this one.
60%. But for us, I think it's important that we do have some frequency of checking here, about a third of the time. Like it seems pretty reasonable to check kings with the spade. Like I mean, I'm probably over checking kings with the spade in this spot. Like so. Up here. Yep, I mean, I imagine it's really hard. It feels disgusting to try to follow through here, like. And we lose ace high.
Yeah, it's all like you just don't feel like an overpair is nutted enough to jam, but yeah, sick.
One more hand, Joey. Cool. All right, sir, what are we doing?
All right, my perception is this is one of the boards where we check the most. But when
Okay.
we do bet, we bet larger.
So what are you doing? Are you I imagine this, you're checking
we're-
this.
Yeah, if we're polarized, I'm checking this.
Are you gonna bet? Do you think this turns its into a bluff at any frequency?
No, maybe like 7s, 8s, and 9s more likely.
Very good. No shot. You have better candidates. We'll look at it, but yeah, like some of the other combos that more connected, probably better candidates. Doing anything?
No, I'm not gonna delay C bet this.
Good.
Is this still in check range? Because we have very little 7x and hijack has more.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Okay, thanks.
Just get me out of this one.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, whatever. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're losing EV by calling. Wrecked. Range. Very good, Molten. Range.
And when we do bet, the few times we bet, we go large.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that few times is very few. Like, there's not a damn hand in here that really prefers betting, not one. There's no hand over 50% that likes betting. And this is where you will see people make large, gigantic mistakes in live poker. Or even online, you see people see bet in this sport. You're like, you're not supposed to be doing this. You will see people
Well, I
see
think-
bet this boards.
I like to give myself credit, but I think this is the flop. I'm more curious about. I was curious on the turn.
I mean, you're not gonna have range because the stronger portion of your range are gonna win it back.
Okay,
This
so
is
only
pretty
flop
cool.
is. Okay,
Betting
so we do have bets
diamonds.
on the turn.
Let's see something.
Yeah, and like sevens, eights and nines.
A lot of your diamonds are betting. And then let me get that out of there. Sevens, eights, and nines are mixing. Sevens and eights, nines, tens, all mixing, that and jacks plus. I mean, these hands are fucking mixing like 40% of the time, tracking 60%. You're like, it's checking a lot, man. With
Yeah, we
these
don't have
pairs, you're not gonna
sevens.
be two streets.
We don't have a ton of sevens in our range that the hijack doesn't have too.
And then all these king X, queen X, jack X hands with the dangler when they go check with a diamond dangler once a bet. Pretty cool. He's calling it.
Yeah, I could see that, because then you can barrel the river when it diamond hits.
Yep. Did anybody else want to see anything else with this before we move on to ICM? Maybe we need to do. Wait a minute,
I
we've
get-
only done this. Yeah, yeah.
Can I get one more hand? Because I really griefed the last hand really bad.
Yep. And you get a fun one with that under pair on a 9 high board.
All right, I'm checking this.
Easy check with the under pairs. Before we move on, what are you doing with Jack 10, Jack 10 offsuit, Queen Jack offsuit, King Queen offsuit, King 10 offsuit type hands? This is the region where we want to get better. Because those kind of,
Jack-
a lot of those fall in the same bucket.
Yeah, Jack 10 and Queen 10, I like to bet. I think King 10 will be betting a little bit less. And all of them on the suited side, all the backdoor with overs. Except maybe the aces.
I'm gonna have to check you right now. Nope. Jack 10, one of the weakest, have both suits on board bet. When you have a club in your hand, it's not so hot.
Seems like it's betting a lot with 10 of clubs, but not with jack of clubs. Interesting.
Right here?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
betting.
not with the jack of clubs as much, right?
Yeah, this look, like I said, Jack 10 more than Queen 10 and King 10 the least. King Queen, I probably would have checked behind a lot more.
I mean, yeah, it's still checking back, and I think from EV's perspective, I don't know if you're gonna be losing much by trying to
And then-
mix this into a betting strategy.
And
Like,
then
and when
the
you do
backdoor
bet it, go
flush draws
big.
with overs.
Yeah, this stuff is you have way better betting candidates on a board like this. Like this stuff is gonna be better, right? To mix in as a bet. Queen fucking jack. I probably bet this too much in this spot, and I like that it's just using a larger size. Queen jack with a backdoor flush draw. Jack 10. Man, I would do this too much. Shit.
Well, look how much we're checking tens and jacks too. We're not
Crazy,
fixing
eh?
that as often as I thought we would.
Yeah.
Same here. I thought that would be betting.
Like if we were betting them more, then I think more the Queen 10 and Queen Jack might slip
I mean,
in.
this board is just heinous for our range because we just have so many high card ace highs and shit to miss here. And I imagine these hands are just going to be prime check raise candidates, of course, and then gigantic bets on clean turns. Let's go ahead and play the hand though. Then we'll see what happens. And then we'll look at the rest of our range. He hit you with a 30 piece.
It's about percent. I think call one.
Can't fold. Actually can't.
Some raising and what the? Okay.
All right.
You check. Then you face a 2-piece.
I want to fold, but I'm looking for a reason not to fold right now. And I can't really. Yeah, I think I'm just folding.
You're getting almost 4-1. It's gonna be like 0 EV, one of those 0 EV calls.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
don't
would
know.
call this.
I think
I
I
mean-
like folding. I think we have a lot of queen high floats that get there. I think we would rather call
0
like
EV.
we would even rather call king jack here. If we check
Yeah.
call king jack suited with a backdoor flush draw, like that's just such a better call than fours.
It is, but at the same time, it's like, it's 0 EV. That's card very high frequency barrel
Yeah.
card for his bluffs, like ace 10,
also-
king 10, and all those bluffs.
Even-
But
even
I-
like
I-
the
you
bluffs
folded
that we
in
unblock,
game.
they just have so much
We-
equity against us.
We have hearts and diamonds too.
Whoops.
We might have some more, we might have a little bit more calling if we had a club.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have the 4 of hearts, but unblocking the backdoor flush draw bluffs you want like,
Yeah,
but yeah, I know what you mean. I hate this spot because I know it's like, well, am I gonna make a 0 EV call, print nothing, when in reality the barrel range is probably too tight for population, and I would much rather have, oh, yeah, like they just have shit like this a lot. So
all right, I'm okay going out with 100.
what did we want to see? We check, they do this. Their betting range, they're betting a lot. We're checking this. When we have the overpair, we check raise. Don't need to check raise
Wow.
sets too strong. You fuck them up.
That's why we're
Top
checking
pairs.
all those hands a lot.
Yep.
On,
Check raise. And then look at this nasty little tidbit. These 2 check raising full frequency as well. Kind of back to these 3. Oh, it's so nasty.
and
This
clubs
is
are
really
folding
fucking
here, right?
good, man. This is really good. Making sure you use all these combos with the backdoor flush draw as well is so good. Max all the characteristics of the hand you want to check raise here, so I got to make sure we don't miss this. And it's pretty straightforward. Ace deuce is a good one. I miss A6, A7 every single time, probably. So very good. Yeah, not a bad way to go out. Very good. Go out with a hundy. So good. You guys want to just jump straight to ICM? Got a little bit of time left before I have to go get the kiddos.
Yeah, I'm done.
ICM time. I want to just get straight into this kind of stuff and really exercise our brain for this. Let's give ourselves the real.
I'm not familiar with Pre-Flop Academy. Is that through PkerCoaching?
Nope, it's its own independent tool that just really works on I can just give you a quick, I'll just go back and set it up. So here you can have where you are in the inflection point, chip EV, 10% filled, 17.5, and then it shows the playouts and structures for you. So 17.5% of the field would be 5 off the money, signify that. 10% would be in the money, final, getting close to the final 2 tables, and then so on and so forth. We also have some asymmetrical setups here that you can mess with to see ranges and whatnot.
Do you think this is significantly better than what is offered through Wizard in terms of?
Well, it's just different because for us, it allows us to visualize different ranges. I could see multi-way here and work on my game. And for me, it's been a very good big game changer in regards to how I'm approaching ICM. I feel like I'm crushing it much more
Nice.
with
Okay.
ITM and final tables and stuff like
If
that.
you don't have Pre-Flop Academy, Wizards is close enough on their
Uh-huh.
I
It
see him
is. You
go.
just can't. You can drill it the same way. Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah.
Like you almost don't need both tools, but this displays the data better. And
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it.
Yeah. This one's a little cleaner to get to the answer.
yes,
Yeah, Wizard's a pain in the ass for sure.
like you can look at it like this. You know, you can kind of get an idea. 10% of the field left versus RF5 from EP. You're on the button, kind of looking at your strategic here and like how you're approaching it. But yeah, we're just going to drill some of these spots. And it's cool if you don't have much experience with ICM work like that, you can really get a lot of reps in. This is why I really love this tool. We're going to play as if we're in the money. And then we're going to give ourselves real life stacks that your asses know you're going to have. Like, it's never nice. I think I'm probably going to break it. You guys know how this goes. We can just RFI from any position. I don't want to. Let's see if it works. It worked. Oh my God. All right. Andrew, right away. Get in here.
What? Oh man, I am in uncharted territory. I would flat. Seems like the only reasonable thing.
To flat.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could see just folding. Especially like with big blind behind and everybody's 15 effective, we might get just a lot of jams out of him. But I think flat's good.
What are you doing with King Jack suited, King Queen suited?
King Queen suited, I would probably find the jam there.
Okay.
King Jack, I would feel not great about because they get dominated a ton. At least King Queen has like some slightly better blockers. But
So you want to fold this one or call?
no, I'm in there. I'll try to see a flop.
So this is the big difference in ICM, man. Just a ton of jamming your suited Jack X,
Yeah.
suited 10X, Jack X, and these pairs and everything. Like strategically, this shit is much different.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna be still fighting a lot of all ins. You can kind of examine his opening range here as well. This is his 14% range. We're still jamming versus this.
Yeah, I just thought like with such a tight EP range, like all in would just be like a little too loose.
No, it still runs
Okay.
reasonably well, generates enough fold equity, does well when called by the ace king, ace queens, flips versus here, get some folds versus the suited ace X portion. So yeah, we're gonna do, I'm gonna give you, let's do like 7 hands since you're kind of new to these, and I think it's really good.
Jam.
Jamming. What are you doing? Which offsuit ace X are you jamming versus cutoff? And only focus on the offsuit ace X.
I
Are you
would
jamming them all,
think
or
all of them. Maybe not ace deuce. Maybe not ace three, but I would think off 15 versus LP. We're just
10% of the
highly
field left? All
incentivized just to stick it in.
right. Not all of them. Just still calling middle portion jamming the whale ones.
Yeah.
I would always jam ace 10, so I'm kind of surprised to see
Yeah.
this. I would pure ace 10. And sometimes I would be unsure what to do with ace 9. Probably sometimes using ace 5 and then never jamming 6, 7, 8.
I'm surprised to see 7s, 8s flat. I think that's the
7s
most
and 8s.
surprising thing in here. 7s and 8s are just like they have a
50-50. Yeah.
50-50, but then everything else is just
But look at this range, like still using a lot of the suited 10X, some of this Jack X. I'm probably over ripping the King, Queen, and King 10 suited and King 9 suited here. These are easy. I'm just now learning about these jams, which are really good. So, will you have something to say, Joey?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the 7s and 8s interact with the bottom of the range. That's why they're not shoving as much.
Bottom of the opening range. 8X.
Hmm.
Suited 8X. A7, king 7, that's the bottom shit we fold out. A6, A7, but yeah. And these are pretty tight ranges. He's just all in with some of these smaller pairs, some of the suited ace-x and shit he doesn't want to raise fold, so it's pretty straightforward. Oh, you're about to get 3, but oh, it's fun.
I would imagine that we definitely have some 3-bet not all into the range. We'd probably just want to flat this though.
Anybody else flat?
I don't think we want to jam.
I'm deep and small here.
Maybe jam is like better because it's just like a little bit lower variance, and if we're screwed, we're screwed.
Yeah, this is interesting. Like I imagine it might find more flats from cutoff, but I would just 3-bet small or be all in.
Yeah,
I
I feel
don't
like if we
think
do it
flat.
small and we get jammed on, like we
Just
kind of
happy.
hate it.
Never
Like,
folding.
We're
It's
obviously
just-
we're obviously calling, but it's just like we're just like not thrilled to see it.
Well, I mean, he needs to go. He needs to be in there with jacks, 10s,
Yeah.
nines plus needs to 4-bet jam. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like going to about 5.
all right. And Andrew, you said initially we're gonna call. A little bit of calling in there, but
Right.
mostly jam.
Ooh,
No 3-bet small. Wow.
No 3-bet.
that's
Everybody
no 3-bet small.
apologize to Andrew.
Sorry, Andrew.
Sorry, Andrew. Sorry. Very good.
this
There's some
actually
call in
looks
there.
backwards to what I would think. I thought the ace queen suited would be.
No,
shoving-
I thought ace queen off would be the jam, and then ace queen suited would have the 3-bet because it plays what better, and you're happier to get it in, blah blah blah. But very good. 25 bigs now.
Likely to be a jam. I don't think we want to raise small because if we get jammed on, we're just up against ace-x a lot. I'm just in there.
I'm in there too. Please be an all in, or are we punting?
This could be an island.
Yeah.
No, it's not an
Nah,
island.
there's no islands. I would only be all in here. Queen off. As you can see here, Jack's 3-betting for value. These some 3-bet folds that are really cool. I think are missed out on a lot. 50-50s. This is why it's
Sure.
really good to have the RNG. Ripping ace deuce through ace 5 suited for simplicity. Flatting these, okay. Suited 9, suited 10s, jamming. Yeah, this region, really nice. Whoops.
Fold.
What's the bottom of your beat up range here for your
I guess
offsuited?
I would feel inclined to beat to ace jack. I don't even feel strongly.
3-bet.
Ace
3-bet
queen
to
for
5.
sure. Ace jack is like almost murky, and I think ace 10's a clear fold.
What are you doing with ace jack? You said you want to V-pip, would you flat?
I would probably flat. I could see like raise folding ace jack sometimes too.
I would never, ever, 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 ever flat.
I don't know.
Before
That's
you
crazy.
check, I think.
Yeah, 0
Oh, not
flat
before,
with ace jack. Yeah, little bit.
You fold ace jack if you get jammed on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a 3-bet bluff. I would go to 5. I would go to.
Sorry,
yeah.
I thought I heard you say never ever ever. Was that be pipping ace 10 or doing something with ace jack?
Never calling. I would never flat ace jack on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
no flats with the ace jack on. Ace jack suited, we flat. Not even thrilled about it, but
Oh God. God, I hate it.
20 players left. Ace queen oh.
Either raise fold or jam.
Raise folds.
No man. I'm all in.
He's been cut.
Take it.
Who's hurt you? Yeah, leave. He's all in. Molten Ashford, what are you doing?
I think I'm majority all in as well.
All
Raise fold.
good.
I don't hate raise fold though. I really don't.
Oh, raise folding off this seems so savage. All in. Thank God.
Okay.
And then B
that's-
Money says only calling. Hails to the nut. 20 big blinds. GG territory for me.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah, king, ace, queen. King, queen, king, jack. Good. I'm glad you guys decided to punt it with me.
Fold.
Ace queen
I-
suited. Yeah.
Oh,
Fold.
off 15. Yeah, I mean, so fold.
What are you doing with king, jack, king 10, king, queen suited? Those three versus this 15. Under the gun.
I feel like I guess you're flat. It feels so gross with 3 stacks behind. And it's like all symmetrical. King 10 is like would be murky to me. I think it would like mix flat fold. And then king queen would maybe jam sometimes. And then king jack would be like only call.
King jack only call. King jack is that beautiful little island of jam, but let's see if the suited kings.
Oh, I thought
everyone
king
to
queen
fall.
was the little beautiful I love jam.
Nah, it's always look at this shit. This is why I asked King 10.
Yeah.
Jack, queen.
Yeah,
I
that
always
makes
ask
sense.
people about
It's
this
like
region.
just unpleasant to flat.
Yeah, like this is a big region in ICM. Once we get to doing work with it, that's a lot more all in than flat.
Okay, yeah.
In Chippy V situation, you're gonna find a bit more flatting here. Here it's just a lot more ripping.
It's
with
just
this
disgusting
region.
to flat a king high and then get jammed on behind. And it's just like, well,
Especially one this good, right? Like, and then you get
Yeah.
jammed on behind for 15. You're actually in hell. I mean, this is versus
no,
14.
so it's better off just to use these hands as like high equity bluffs, blocking some calls, blocking ace king, blocking kings.
Blocking the top of their range and then doing
Yeah.
well when called versus enough, and then having enough equity, at least having 30% or something when called, 35%, you know, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Now we have 25 bigs. They give you that.
No.
Why can't it just be 15 big? All three seem so reasonable. I would probably mix all in and raise.
Ooh, you're mixing all the wins with this one. Okay. Jamming the king 10 suited versus +2 at 25.
Maybe would rather jam like a king jack, king queen suited and like raise fold a king 10 suited. And like maybe there's like some flatting going on, but a little
Or
bit
the
deeper.
10x fold out the jack X and the queen X portions of their range, because when you jam, you're pretty much targeting some folds from king jack, king queen, ace
Those
jack.
hands would definitely
the
fold. I
queens
think
and stuff,
ace
you know.
jack would fold. Ace queen would call off. Something like that.
So he's jamming this. B money. How you feeling?
B money's in the streets right now. Call.
Just in the street. Okay. And Jackson, I see you out there lurking, champ. What up? What are you doing here?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Let me see the situation.
We have a jam and a call.
Oh,
Yep,
I'm flatting.
Yeah, I think I'm on more team flat as well with this, and just VPIP as a play. I think the EP range for 25. I don't know if I'm gonna stick in 25, so I have 4 plays behind. With all things equal, maybe flatting good, and then
Mixing
the
some
king
small
jack and
three
king
bets.
queen are the ones, you know.
Maybe mixing some small 3 bets, maybe not with the suited hand.
These are different, and this one's no jams, by the way, no all ins.
Yeah.
And we're only
Not
going
even,
to
like,
5.
tens or jacks.
God damn, poker's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, range to 5. Is that what I'm saying? I was about to say 5.5.
Yeah. I tend to be going 5.5 as well lately. I just need to know if 5 is just going to be sufficient and get all the same things done that 5.5 will. And it
Those are-
probably looks a little bit stronger as well when we go 5 there. It looks like a little bit more inducey and scary in a way.
Yeah, there was a period of time for like about maybe like 4 to 6 weeks on Bet Online where a lot of people were just going like 4.76.
Yeah, that's 2.25x, you know, so that is a thing as well, especially in ICM 2.25x when we're 20 big blinds effective, you'll see a lot. Keep it going, Andrew. You're gonna get to 10. Fuck it. Louis King.
Rip.
Ripping.
We already looked at this. This is a rip.
That was what we looked at. That was versus cutoff. Now that we're in the hijack.
Oh, I didn't see it.
And
it's
the
much
kings
better.
that were jamming was more of the danglers. It was like, well, 4, 5, 6, and I think 7 was in there as well. So yep. But
Yeah.
you said rip. You declared your
I
bet.
live with it. Everyone was binding.
He's right.
Ship
Let's
it.
go. Ship it.
And when I say ship it, I mean I'm out of the tournament because I went all in with king and a 7.
Sir, yeah, he just shows you the aces like the
Yeah,
aces.
at least ace king. That's what
Yeah,
happens.
it's always the good.
But they're at least showing ace king like, hey, nice shove, man. That was
Nice,
real.
yeah.
Like, man.
Then they're typing mad as hell when you sucked out versus ace queen.
Oh,
Is there any flatting going on here, like as a trap with 2 stacks behind? I'm just gonna say raise,
Okay.
but I could see like some flatting going on here.
With kings and aces, maybe not with queens.
Yeah.
Not with queens.
Wouldn't you rather have like kings and aces to trap with? Because like you want to unblock the ace to get jammed on. Or is
Hmm.
is that like not so much of a thing? Like yes,
Nah,
vulnerable hand.
yeah, it's a little bit vulnerable. I would only raise it, but I have
Yeah.
seen things on Money Bubble where we flat queens with 40 big blinds and shit. You do a lot of flatting with queens and jacks with like 30, 40 big blinds. On
And then
the-
like you do back rip or yeah, like I guess you have
yeah, I
to.
mean, in those kind of cases, if you get 3-bet, yeah, but it like in a big blind, you're not even
But
3-betting
it's almost
queen.
like pot control at that point. Like you don't want to play a 3-bet pot with something that's just like not going to be that strong.
I'm actually surprised we don't do a little bit more. Like it's 8% and 2%. So just 3-bet everything. And it's that size you were talking about, Jackson.
Wow.
It's 4.75. 4.8 or
4.5.
something like that. Yeah.
4.5.
Yeah, it's 4.5. Fuck me.
There's like no flatting at all. Well,
Yeah.
is this like a normal thing? Like you just don't play flats?
No, not really. Yeah, versus late position. They still have what 30% opening range, which looks pretty reasonable.
I think it's so that you can induce 4-bet jams from like ace 5 suited, especially versus like late position versus late position. Original opener RFI might get the feeling that you're trying to fuck with him. I was watching some final tables and seeing like some chip leaders fucking with people. People would just 4-bet like the ace 10 off or some shit from EP.
Is it more of a thing? Just thinking more theoretically, like if we're only gonna play raise fold, we want to use a smaller size.
Yes.
Like it's gonna be a lot more linear, a lot more mergy.
Yeah, and I mean us
Like,
it's
if
gonna
we're not
allow
gonna have
us to
flats, it makes sense to use a very small size.
yeah, I love this. Very small sizes. All right, last one, my man. And they give you a fun.
I mean, all in.
Oh, Lynn versus EPMP as well. Woo-fee.
I
Old
mean,
fashioned, what are you
are we
doing?
ever just folding here?
Fold. Fold.
It's just a fold?
He's
I've
not
seen-
folded. Holy fuck.
Oh my god.
Let's see, one all in and one fold. Joey, tie break it. Uh-oh, he gone. Jackson, tie break it.
Middle position, one off the is I mean the answer is gonna be mixed, right? I guess you jam because you're offsuit or some shit.
Woo. There's 2 jams. Toe.
Fold seems crazy.
That's
But like, I mean,
Hang on, I gotta make sure.
Be
that
flat in
this-
real
We
life.
are just in the money.
Yep.
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't have some folds here, but it would be jam or fold.
Damn.
I don't like to be flagging very much.
Get the flat here for
It's a
sure.
spot.
It really is.
Because like I was just, this is a spot that I'm actually weak in, and which is why we studied this when I had the group 2 weeks ago, because this is a real tough, funky spot that I'm not 100% sure about.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to do like 100 to 200 hands of ITM like this a day, and at these stack depths as well. You're only gonna have these
Mhm.
stack depths in most of the tournaments we
I think
play.
I'm pretty good in general, but the small blind is a weird spot here.
You have some
I'm
flats.
15.
A little bit.
It's
Just
king
get
jack,
it.
unfortunate.
I see you, Andrew. Well done. Never
job.
scared. All in. Good job. Very good job. And you gotta grab your balls and just jam this sometimes as well. 3s plus. I mean, ace 5's in there. This is
Interesting thought. If someone flats in between you guys, are you more likely to fold or are you more
we can
likely
look at
With
that.
ICM, that becomes crazy folds. so
You're
tight.
tight.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Because I mean, one thing at these stack depths that you see, the flatting ranges are fucking ace jack,
King Queen
some
becomes a flip
traps,
more often when
and
that
then
happens,
like
sure.
it won't even show this. Like, yeah, it had, like these flatting ranges have aces, you know what I'm saying? Then like ace jack, and it's super strong. Like, that's why I'm just showing you like buttons flatting range here. Yeah. You see a flat from here. What the fuck are they flatting? Do they even have a flatting range? Is it just nutted? Aces. So that's why it gets so tight in the money, multi-way at these stack depths when you see a flat. It's fucking aces, dude. like you got to be super careful. Like, dude,
I think it's gonna be aces, king, queen, ace, queen,
ace
and
jack suited and shit.
jack
Like
suited.
ace queen suited, aces, ace jack suited, some ace queen off. Like the range is so ridiculously nutty that when it gets multi-way, your big blind defend range, you squeezing back over the top, it is also goddamn condensed. You got to be very careful. And I think this actually applies to real life. When you get to deep in tournaments when it matters and you see somebody raise, everybody's fighting for their life and then a flat by somebody who's been playing solid. They have aces. All right, new meat. Good job, my man. Good job, Andrew. Jackson, no problem. Come in and drop us with a 6-piece.
I'll take it all in.
I'm gonna take an all in, Alex. Easy ass all in, snap all in. I should have asked you about more of the range, seeing now that we have some suited nines that are gonna be all in. That suited king, ace X portion.
I find
Obviously,
this jack 9 suited. Jack 10 suited is going to be very like player dependent. I probably never find the 10-9 suited 3-bet jam.
Yeah.
If with me jamming those hands, it's like I'm jamming those from the button small blind cutoff. I'm not like 3-betting them.
And in the button like this, it's interesting you say that. I think it's very unintuitive to jam these hands for the simple fact that when you see them, you know you can defend and play pretty well post flop, right?
No.
And I think a lot of people just fall into the comfort zone of wanting to flat these hands and just play them post flop when they just have very. I mean, they're still opening 30%. Like we get a ton of folds, especially at this stage in the tournament, from a lot of this range that has us beaten dominated. Like he's not going to raise call ace 8 off, ace 9. People are just going to be sometimes even mixing fold with ace 10 and stuff like that. This deep shook. Funsies. So a cutoff open with the king jack.
I think that thing on the left, what do we call the answer? I think it's gonna say fold all in. Me personally, I think I fold this more often than not. Cutoff is a little interesting because hijack, I'm probably like insta folding it, but cutoff it lends to the fact that like you're a little bit more wider from there and you get a lot of I don't know about better hands to fold, but you do get a lot of folds from their opening range, as you said in the last round on 20 bigs. 15's fair. It's not a lot of big blinds to lose. If you were to lose the hand, it's not too big of a blunder. Me personally, with 20 left, I lean towards a fold, future game equity, etc.
Fair. King queen suited. I mean king queen offsuit.
Offsuit. At the bare minimum, flat. But even then, I think all is much better because, like
I'm only jamming king queen off.
I think it's a jam too. Yeah, this feels like a jam.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean,
If king queen's off a jam
bottom.
against NP, king jack off from cutoff seems like a jam as well.
All right, we're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. Too tight. And
I would not find king 10 to be fair.
You wouldn't find king 10, you said?
I don't
It's
think I would
0
find king
EV.
10.
I mean, it's fucking 0 EV. So if you're not finding your edge passing slightly, if you think like this player isn't tight enough, I think it's reasonable to fold to king 10. Ace 9 also feels a little versus some tight ass opponents. But we gotta find the ace 10 off plus, king jack off plus. Yeah, this feels natural as hell, doesn't it? Like to me as well. The queen jack sometimes feels a little punty, but it just
is so fun. They call off jams. Like I'd be praying they have ace king. Like show me ace king. Show me ace king.
You're just gonna get a ton of folds too. I mean, that's the other great side. You have the blockers that block out range. You're just gonna get a ton of folds.
And you know, people don't naturally just rip these type of hands. They put themselves in hell more so than they should with some of these hands. I don't feel like population knows to just always rip all these hands this specific range. So they'll find themselves folding or raise calling off with worse hands as well, and so more so than you think, especially at the mid and low stakes.
Just a jam.
From your pairs, what pairs are you jamming?
Threes are better.
Threes and better. I think you jam deuces as well. You definitely jam deuces. Just jam them all. Deuces plus. Every pair. I don't want you to miss out on them deuces. Ooh, I was hoping EP would open. Fuck, you get lucky. Well,
That's a jam as well.
it's oh, I would have snagged. I just autopilot jam for you because I would only jam this.
Right.
I mean, flatting 70% of the time here seems ridiculous.
I guess it kind of makes sense from what from the little bit, because I'm super lazy with my studying, but like a little bit I did with River toy games or something.
Yeah.
I guess eights would be in the middle of like, you know, of that like not, it's like bluffing or something. It's like right in the middle, like it goes like aces through deuces or whatever, the toy games or whatever. And like I guess eights does like make sense there as far as like what it's not value, it's more like bluff catching and like defending like against like jams or
You don't
something.
really get called off by worse. It plays well enough post flop. You get the player in position. They should have a reasonably high check range out of position here. If you get squeezed, you snap it off. What's up, Joey?
I have a question.
Yep.
I think eights are doing this again because we interact with the bottom of the range of the solver. But it's probably not really bottom of the range for population.
No, that's why I just jam it versus population.
Yeah, that was my question. Do you think it's just okay to just still jam this through and?
Well, the
not-
problem is, yeah, because I imagine population is going to raise this range and not be all in with it. So by calling, this range gets to realize a lot of these hands get to realize too much equity. We get to just fold out some of this and make it indifferent pre-flop. Because
And I think
population
sevens
just
will call.
raises yeah. So I mean, yeah, these hands, and like people, they don't have sevens much, right? They should be ripping
Hold on,
these
just one
underpairs.
second.
But the
Right.
problem is like I don't think they're appropriately adjusting and using this strategy. So if that's the case and they're raising some of these hands, we get to get called by some of the worst underpairs. We get to fold out some of these ace highs, or they raise call, or they fold out some of these ace X, right? And then these suited nines, I think they just raise as well, more so than just go all in. I think people probably do find all ins with King Jack, King 10, this kind of stuff a little bit more. But not this and not these always. So my estimation, if they're actually playing like that, we want to jam more. Long-winded for that.
And they're gonna flip over kings anyway.
Yeah, they're going to be at the top, tippy top, pico top of the range anyway, so it doesn't matter.
This is a good call. I don't want to raise it and get blown off in case, like, you know, he does have aces. I mean, if my opponent flipped over aces after making his bet, I still call.
What
So
are you doing with offsuit? I'm going to cut you off. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Offsuit.
Offsuit ace X, like your ace deuce 3, 4, 5, and then your ace 9, 10, jack, queen.
I'm jamming a lot of the higher ones.
Okay.
The lower ones, I think I like to jam in first or like raise 4-bet sometimes. If I feel my opponent's capable. I mean, offsuited ace, we're in position, so we have like a good reason to flat that too and try to like fuck ace king or some shit if we do get cooler. But I think I would call a lot of like ace X in position versus if I limp, I'm more likely to fold if I limp, get ISO'd with, and I have ace deuce, I'm more likely to fold that because I have a deuce 3 dangler that I don't want to play. But in position, I'm more likely to call it, I guess.
That was very
Does that
complicated.
ever-
Right? It's like, go ahead.
Does this hand have a bluff jam?
He has a polarized raising range.
Okay, so then.
No, like
No,
it's his
9-8
range
does
is too
this.
polar. Like it's polar. Like we just want to realize equity. Like he's gonna have the fucking goody two shoes, and then he's gonna have this.
I see.
Yeah. But he's got some bullshit down here. He's got some bullshit here, and then he has the goods, right? Like, he's also got some middling stuff. I mean, this range is pretty active, I think. But yeah, I was asking about this. I know sometimes the ace deuce, A3, ace 4, ace 5 mixing in some raises, and then ace 10, jack queen. I would just I'm ripping ace 10 too much. I'm really pretty sad in this. 2 more hands, or maybe 3 more. I can't remember what number. Just 3. Ace queen suited. Are you 3-betting all in? Are you flatting? What do we like here?
Me personally, I'm jamming, but now I'm thinking about it, looking at it. I'm like, isn't it better to like raise and keep in ace jack? Because ace jack can find some folds. I mean, at least for me, I'm a nit, but yeah.
It's so
I
high
think
up in your
it's
range, you want to just 3-bet induce. It's
Yeah,
pretty much
3-bet
what you're
induce.
3-bet
Alright.
induce worse ace X. Okay. B money.
I would definitely say I jam mostly in games.
Molten. What do you
bet
like
small.
here? 3-bet small. Yep. Just snap. It's too good, and I'm glad you found that, Jackson. Nice way to like think it through. It is so fucking strong. You want to 3-bet induce,
I know.
and then you're jam with ace queen here, or ace king.
Because in real life I always jam it with ace queen, but now that I'm looking at it on the screen, I'm like, maybe that's not the best idea.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. We can induce with ace queen, ace king suited, and then I think the offsuit varieties like naturally aren't going to play as well post flop when we get called. So you want to just jam, and we don't mind just snapping this off. Ace jack suited, the king queen suited, king 10 suited. Here's this region again, and interestingly enough, I think a lot of people are going to pip the jack 10 suited and not know any better. Seeing this shit folded to just a straight open and the cutoff feels crazy. But it's fold.
Yeah, I probably flat 100%.
I know, that's why I wanted to point that out. I know somebody's be pipping this. It's hard. Like looking at jack 10 of spades to an open here and just folding it. I have to do that on stream.
Maybe you need to pick a suit because it looks like it's showing 20%, 10%.
I mean, if you look at the EV at the bottom there, you see all those negatives?
Right.
You can't, and then even the call is like 0.
Just pure folded, just pure fold.
Yeah, it's toast. I mean, I guess versus certain opponent types, then you still have to worry about getting squeezed, jammed behind, and not being able to do damn thing about it.
People are very sweet happy nowadays.
And then you're not blocking, and it just sucks. Speaking of jack 10 suited, and it puts you in a fun spot.
That is fun. 3-bet fold.
Never in a million years. I'm only jamming.
I guess you can't even fold, right? You have too much equity. And
I mean, 3-bet
depends on what you
fold.
3-bet too. If you 3-bet to something real cute, like 5.5 out of position, make it look nutted, then you can fold it.
Well, here we go. I mean, you're talking about folding a very high equity hand that's going to play well, even versus some of the hands that go all in versus you and torching it. I don't think 3-bet fold is a thing, but let's find out today. Anybody else 3-bet folding?
It's pure ripping.
I would just pure rip. Yeah, like this is not the hand class showing a 3-bet fold. It just plays so incredibly well versus some of the portions of the range that does 4-bet jam. Like you just not this hand, not these hand classes that are suited broadways. Rip the suited broadways if you're gonna 3-bet those.
It's also
doesn't
very
even
bad
go.
blockers. Like you're unblocking his 4-bet jams.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like he's gonna just 4-bet jam ace 5 on you, and you're gonna be like sick
So you think it would
because
be
this
better
runs
to-
very good equity.
So the correct answer would be the jam. Do you still think 3-bet
Well-
call off is like viable enough?
No.
Okay, just jam it. Or
Well,
deny it.
your 3-bet bluffs want to come from your ace X to block the top of his range. That's going to 4-bet jam you.
Makes
And
sense.
block his ace kings, block his ace queens, block his ace 5 4-bet jams and stuff like that, and then generate more of the folds from his 9x opens, jack 8s and stuff like that. And then when he gets called, you play for reasonable equity versus some of this portion of the range that he calls.
Queen probably folds a lot too.
And real life people just like to flat the fucking hand, but some people get shook when we're this deep and think they're dead. So yeah. But yeah, your 3-bet bluff blockers want to come from you want to have better or worse hands. Offsuit king 10, queen 10, you know, blocking 10s, kings, queens, all that good shit, and then this dog shit.
It's not still me, is it?
One more.
I think you're supposed to call mostly range, but wow, this is interesting. Yeah, go ahead and give me a call.
You're not supposed to call range. You're gonna be folding some of your dog shit for sure. Maybe a slight risk premium where you're gonna be folding more of these offsuit bullshit, but it's hard to say with the queen. Probably have to maybe get in there with all of our queen X, king X, and then start folding jack deuce, jack 3, jack 4, jack 5, folding the offsuit 10x up to a 5 and stuff like that, offsuit 5x. But this is probably going to be close to 0 EV and probably calling. Oh, it's even raising. It's 0 EV anyway to even call. And then, yeah, so you fold all these as well. Jack deuce, 10 deuce, up to 5, up to 6. Then all the kings. So you can't start folding these.
What do you raise
I'll be
to?
honest, I'm socked 7-6 folds.
Min raise.
Okay.
2x, which is nasty as fuck. I love it. It allows you to, I've never done this. I'll be honest with you, I've never used this size. I would go like 2.5 because I wouldn't be
They
sure.
don't mean
but this size is
5.4 by 2x. They mean just like they mean
5.4, 2x that range.
Oh, okay. When you said min raise, I was like, really?
I mean, not min, but yeah.
Very.
Just,
You
yeah.
know, like,
yeah, you put in a raise to 4.2, whatever it would be. Just
Right.
yeah, put in one more big or something. It'll be so nasty. All right, good shit, man. It's about 3 o'clock. I have to go get the kiddos here in a minute. But I feel like this is a good session. We picked up a lot of stuff out of position. We worked on our C betting frequencies. I think I picked up a lot of good stuff on 2 high card paint boards versus button call range heads up, and knowing we should be betting a lot more specifically on king high boards. Paired boards we can mix in 10 high, jack high. Paired boards we get to bet like 60% on those spots at 40 big blinds. So yeah, there was a lot of good stuff I feel like I learned today. But did you guys have any final thoughts? I will get back on track. I'm gonna be back for the cash game study group this Tuesday as well. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna try to get some cash reps in before then. So cash game study group, I'm back to coaching and doing it all. But yeah, any final thoughts?
No, think GG.
Yee. Very, very good. Good stuff, guys. Yep, back on schedule. Back with the study stream this Saturday. So we'll be back for that. We'll be back with the cash game on Tuesday. Back to this next Thursday. I'm working on getting HRC, so I'll have HRC. I've been working with Aflac with that a little bit yesterday, and my buddy Eugene. They were teaching me a little bit of HRC stuff. So I will have that hopefully by next week to play around with as well. So yeah, if you guys need anything or have any questions, let me know. We're going to be back to having this group back to 25, 30 people. I missed it for 3 weeks and it came back yeet. So that's okay. All right, fellas. Take care.
All right.
I'm out. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.